County Tuesday. They're seeking custody of their 4-year-old son, Parker. Meantime, new details are emerging about the home of the 5-year-old who went missing in Crystal Lake. Police releasing 5 years of police reports related to the residence of A.J. Friend. One officer saying there were dog feces and urine on the floor and several broken and inoperable windows. Authorities also released the 911 call that A.J.'s father made to report him missing. The brothers who claim Jussie Smollett paid them to stage an attack on him in Chicago are now suing the actor's attorneys for defamation. The Osendario brothers filed suit yesterday claiming Smollett's legal team has continued to smear them after Cook County prosecutors dropped all charges against the actor.
Today's suit enables us to make sure that those consequences are decided in a court of law, not on a cable news network, not in an interview on a TV station.
Attorney Gregory Koulis. Meantime, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx will ignore an order to appear before the county board to testify about her office's poor handling of the Jussie Smollett case. In a letter to the board, Foxx said testifying would be inappropriate because the county's inspector general is currently reviewing the matter. County commissioners demanded Foxx appear before the board to explain her office's abrupt decision to drop charges in the Smollett case. An investigation continues after 2 died and over a dozen more were hospitalized in a series of drug overdoses yesterday in Chicago. Anthony Shanks was found dead of an apparent overdose yesterday morning in the 600 block of North Homan Avenue. Multiple overdoses were reported in the area near Chicago and Homan Avenues. About the same time, drugs were being sold out of a silver-colored SUV in the area. The body of another possible overdose victim was found in the 5300 block of Northeast River Road. 4 adults and 2 children are hurt following a violent crash on the west side. Officers were trying to pull a silver sedan over last night for a minor violation on Congress Parkway when the driver lost control and slammed into a truck. 3 inside the sedan tried to run away but were arrested. Authorities continue investigating after a man fell to his death on Chicago's near north side. Police say the man jumped, apparently, from a 34th floor penthouse in the 200 block of East Delaware Place. His identity has not been released. A public memorial will be held today for a young boy who died over the weekend in a boating accident at Wakanda Lake. The event will honor 9-year-old Geraldo Rodriguez. Rodriguez disappeared in Bangs Lake last Friday after falling off a paddle boat. The Centers for Disease Control this morning is reporting the number of people infected with E. coli after eating ground beef is up to now 156 in 10 states since the beginning of March. The outbreak began in Kentucky and Georgia. It spread to other states, including Illinois and Indiana. Experts are still trying to determine the source of the contaminated ground beef. Illinois State Police brass are looking to rebuild after losing 20% of its force. Governor Pritzker has proposed over $7 million earmarked to train 2 new trooper cadet classes. Acting Director of State Police Brendan Kelly says he'll consider a proposal to do away with a 4-year college degree requirement for recruits, instead requiring them only to obtain an associate's degree. A flip of a coin has determined who will fill a trustee's seat in Sauk Village. In an update to a story we told you about yesterday, after a tie in the April 2nd election, Cook County Clerk Karen Yarborough flipped an $18.99 silver dollar, and candidate Gary Bell called tails and won the seat. Now, the clerk's office says both Bell and Beth Zupan received 288 votes in the election. However, turnout for that election was 9%. Wilson Contreras' 3-run double highlights a 4-run first inning in the Cubs' 7-2 win over the Dodgers at Wrigley. Cubs skipper Joe Madden says Jose Quintana gave them a terrific outing.
Absolutely, we needed that kind of performance tonight. They have a very difficult lineup to navigate, and he was once again on top of his game. Great focus, kept coming back with good pitches. Really, we talked about it also, the curveball is very pertinent tonight.
Orioles hit 4 home runs in a 9-1 rout of the White Sox in Baltimore. Raptors, Sixers, and Blazers moving on to the NBA playoffs. Bruins and Sharks celebrating Game 7 home wins in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The news is a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard. You know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put that experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express at expressfranchising.com today. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder wants Democrats to answer tough questions.
I'm hearing Democrats say that this thing is just dripping with evidence and examples of collusion and of obstruction.
If that's true, why do you need the full Mueller report?
Why are you simultaneously saying that it's got all of these examples of crimes, but you're also asking for the full Mueller report? I thought you said it was already there.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 4343 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 4343. Enjoy.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer is on the way next, but first, a check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In downtown Chicago, there's a crash on Columbus at North Water, just north of the Chicago River. Eden's Expressway is clear at this hour. The Kennedy looks good. Express lanes are now open inbound. The Eisenhower and Stevenson are fine at the moment. The Rhine is getting a little congested inbound approaching downtown. Outbound, 3 left lanes are closed, 87th and Split till 6. There's work on I-57 outbound on ramps. 159th and 167th are closed till 6. Tri-State southbound, 22 to Lake Cook, there's work on the right lane. And downtown Chicago, Spring Bridge lifts start today after 9 a.m. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunshine will mix in with some clouds today, the high 63. Patchy clouds for tonight, low 49. Times of sun and clouds and a passing shower tomorrow, the high 70. Sunny, breezy on Friday, the high 65. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare, 44 along the lakefront, 48 at Midway, and 41 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Are you like me and you never want the Smollett story to go away? Well, if you are, you're in luck because yesterday the Osundario brothers, these are the two Nigerian-American brothers who were accused by Jussie Smollett of attacking him and then, of course, admitted to what they had done and were witnesses for the state before the case was effectively dropped by Kim Foxx's office. They have filed a defamation suit against the attorneys for Jussie Smollett.
Isn't it awesome? And the question is, too, what came to my mind right away, why isn't Jussie Smollett named in the lawsuit? So he
hasn't said anything.
He hasn't said anything. Well, but
you can't defame somebody if you don't communicate about them.
All right, well, it's 16 pages long.
There are numerous defamatory statements, and they're all alleged in the 16-page lawsuit.
And they said that they gave Jussie Smollett's attorneys, gave Chicago a black eye, made us look that we were homophobic. And my God, they made us look like we were Republicans. They made us look like it was MAGA country.
My city, my police department, and my clients all deserve to have their reputations restored.
Yeah. They're suing Mark, but also the one that I call the big boobed attorney, the one that went on the Today Show and said that sometimes Osundario brothers wear white skin because they dressed up once as the Joker for a skit. So she actually implied that they put on the white makeup and then the mask over it. So I am so glad that these two buffoon attorneys are finally going to get theirs. And hopefully, they're seeking $75,000 from each attorney, and they want an apology.
Okay, can we go to what's actually contained in the complaint with respect to defamation? Because in order to defame somebody, they're not really public figures, although...
Well, now they are, though.
Well, I understand. So if you're going to apply the public figure standard, you have to knowingly, recklessly, wrongly accuse somebody of committing crimes or committing acts that would materially damage their reputation. So the suit contends that Glandian, Boobs McGee, as you call her.
Tits McGee here. Excuse me, can I say that?
You just did. The
lawsuit.
Well,
it was in a movie. Right.
The lawsuit suggested that she said on a podcast that the two brothers, that Smollett, and one of the brothers engaged in homosexual acts. This caused the brother accused of severe distress because he's heterosexual, was dating a woman at the time, and liked visiting his family in Nigeria, where same-sex activity is illegal and can result in 14 years in prison or death by stoning if the accused is married.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, the other illegal act she accused the brothers of is engaging in steroid trafficking.
Yeah, and they called them Nigerian steroids, which, whatever.
Okay,
they claimed that they were selling them, steroids because they're lifters, bodybuilders.
But just so we understand this, does the case have merit? If what the defendants are alleging, I haven't heard the podcast, but I'm assuming it's true, then it does have merit. You're accusing the two brothers of illegal activity, illegal in the country of Nigeria and illegal in, the world generally, but certainly in the United States, and they're United States citizens. So despite the sort of waving off of the case by the two Smollett attorneys as frivolous and ridiculous, it is neither frivolous nor ridiculous.
Yeah. And they have three attorneys now, the Osundario brothers. Here's the trace.
There are consequences for the actions that Tina Glandian and Mark Geragos have taken. Today's suit enables us to make sure that those consequences are decided in a court of law, not on a cable news network.
And they, Geragos and Glandian, said, at first we thought this comical legal document was a parody. Instead, this so-called lawsuit by the brothers is more of their lawyer-driven nonsense and a desperate attempt for them to stay relevant and further profit from an attack they admit perpetrated. Perpetrated.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. That's the thing, though. They're not. Because of this, they are no longer working for Empire, and they're not making any money.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason for the lawsuit too.
Well, that's not the basis of a
wages.
lawsuit. Too bad, so sad. That's not the basis of a lawsuit. Defamation is the basis of the lawsuit.
But they put in that 16-page report that their jobs have been affected.
Yeah, well, that's a sad story. Let's just pull the reins a little bit and remember these are not innocent bystanders. They initially engaged in the fraud. They willingly participated in the fraud, and as their attorney Gloria Schmidt says, yes, they did, but then they stopped short of defrauding the Chicago Police Department once they started to piece it together based on the evidence, and obviously Jussie Smollett and his team have not.
Yeah, and they were led to believe, though, that it was a hoax for social media.
Okay.
Well, why are you pushing back? I mean,
why am I pushing back? Because I'm not willing to confer them a Presidential Medal of Freedom as you are. These are not innocent bystanders.
Right? No, they had no idea about the consequences of their actions.
Gloria,
because they were in a position. He was there. They were trying to be be Hollywood stars, and Jussie Smollett was in a position of power. And he lorded over them and convinced them to do this.
Gloria Schmidt acknowledged that the two were initially complicit in Smollett's alleged scheme.
Yeah.
And so they're innocent. Okay, I guess you don't understand what her attorney's saying.
No, I understand.
Complicit in the alleged scheme means they were complicit in the alleged fraud.
And they got paid for their act that they were committing.
Yes. Okay. So, again, before we build statues of them outside of the subway in Streeterville.
Oh, well, we want one in Lakeview, outside of Lakeview High School, because they played football there.
Jim and Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The brothers' lawyers were pretty smart. They came out and said this was done against the whole city, so now they're trying to frame it that when it goes to trial, everybody will be on their side. And I thought it was pretty smart. And Smollett's lawyers should have shut up and put their heads down. I don't even know how a lawyer could be that stupid to poke the hornet's nest like they did.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Well, I mean,
the hornet's nest.
Well, of course, the lawyers have to dismiss this as frivolous. What are they going to say? We look forward to our day in court? No, they want to come over the top and say this is ridiculous and this is
comical
and this is an effort to profiteer on the controversy by the two brothers. Of course, they're going to say that. Marty in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I need to know, when is the book coming out? My library is getting pretty full with these books. I may have to put another bookcase in, so I need to know when the book is coming out. And will this one be a movie with Lori Loughlin starring in it?
Yeah, sure. Maybe Felicity Huffman could have a supporting role. They want to have their names clear. They want to see justice served. They want to have the truth come out so that the people of Chicago and the people of Cook County know what actually occurred. That's Kevin Graham, the president of Chicago FOP, talking to Foxx yesterday, essentially being supportive of the suit, which I am as well, but you just need to keep it in context here. And maybe JoJo, Jussie's brother, who wrote the op-ed earlier this week. We talked about Monday.
Yeah.
For BET. What if Jussie is innocent? It's just, in retrospect, sort of an interesting way to tackle a defense of your brother. What if my brother's innocent? Okay, what if he's not? It's not a protestation that he's innocent. It's almost what if it's possible that it's innocent? It's almost he takes a position without totally formally taking it. But the nice thing about this suit and about JoJo writing the op-ed and about the air that is being continued to be given to this case is it keeps focus on violent crime in Chicago. It keeps focus on what Kim Foxx's office said, Kim Foxx and her office said about their focus, why they kicked the case, is because they're focused on violent crime. And so as long as the Smollett case is front and center, or at least part of the goings-on in Chicago, then it allows us to assess Kim Foxx on the measure that she said you should assess her. Is she putting predators behind bars when police do their job and put together cases properly? And, of course, with the answer to that we know is no.
I need to find a MAGA Trump supporter and get him to beat me up in the streets. And then I'll make more money.
But you see, where would you find Trump supporters willing to participate in this risky scheme?
I'm looking at him right now.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the Ace Buy One Get One Free sale now through Monday only. Don't miss out on all our great deals throughout the store. Save on top brands like Scott's and Ortho. Plus get deals on other products you'll need this spring like birdseed, spray paint, light bulbs, and more. With so many great Buy One Get One Free deals, you can't afford to miss it. So hurry in. The Ace Buy One Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Hi, my name's Ken, and I own Good Start Packaging in Bedford, New Hampshire. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. And last year, that added up to $36,000 in cash back. That's right, $36,000. Thanks to that, I was able to offer healthcare to my employees. The Spark Cash Card did a lot for my business. Imagine what it could do for yours. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers paid for real stories. Credit approval required.
Spring is here, and it's time to think about your sump pump. And don't forget a battery backup. Important stuff. And just as important is who you contact for help, and that would be Permaseal. If you have a sump pump, it needs to be checked to make sure it's working properly. A battery backup is your safeguard in the event of a pump failure or power outage. Remember that all sump pumps fail, and it's not a matter of if, but when. Independent lab results show that Permaseal battery backup systems are your best value in backup sump pump protection. Since 1979, Permaseal has been providing dry, healthy basements and crawl spaces to over 400,000 homeowners all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement or crawl space. Call 800-421-SEAL to schedule your free, no-obligation inspection. Again, that number, 800-421-SEAL, 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. If you need windows, call the exterior experts.
Call Crumweedy.
Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy. Well, they run a third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland exteriors now since 1953. And for them, it's all about trust, and they truly share your values. Why windows from Crumweedy? Now, Crumweedy windows are not offered anywhere else in Chicagoland. They are exclusive, and that's why they can offer a lifetime material and labor installation guarantee. A lifetime. That's a great investment for your home. Windows from Crumweedy are Energy Star rated, unlike most other windows. Also, the vinyl windows are 100% virgin vinyl. You're getting quality windows with a lifetime material and labor installation. Now, if your windows are needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. The name is not easy to spell. Just remember this. WindowsAreNeedy.com. WindowsAreNeedy.com.
Yeah, the weather has turned the corner if you haven't already done so. Get out and enjoy the spring and summer, and you can guarantee that if you're feeling a little achy in the morning from playing golf or spring yard work, then you need to do what I started doing, and that's take Balance of Nature. It's 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. Now, none of us eat enough fruits and vegetables on our own, so that's why Balance of Nature is so great. It's easy and healthy, and yes, the testimonials you hear right here on AM 560 are real. Get on board right now and try Balance of Nature, and now's the perfect time to start, because you can lock in your price for fruits and vegetables today and get free shipping on every order. If you lock in now, you won't pay more when the cost of produce starts to rise later this year. So call today, 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use promo code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and, I thought these two kids were going to make it. Now I'm not so sure.
What?
On a very special, very Cavallari.
Oh, wait, are they getting...
Kristin Cavallari says that she doesn't feel the quote-unquote support from Jay. That would be failed Bears quarterback Jay Cutler.
He could have owned this city if he would have stayed in that playoff game. Okay, really, what's going on? No, I really kind of want to know because I met the couple and I've sensed that something was not right from the beginning.
They made it 6 years, but again, on a very special edition of Very Cavallari. Kristin.
We need the music.
Says, we got to talk.
Oh.
Listen, no, that's not the music.
That's not the music.
Listen, the other day, you know how we had that conversation about how I haven't really been able to make time for you? Cavallari asked her husband in nearly 6 years. So I left that conversation. I was thinking about it. Jay, you fool. And I was kind of like, hang on a second. Why is this all my fault?
Oh, boy.
I just didn't feel like it was very fair.
On a very special Kristin.
I feel like you were really supportive and really encouraging of everything I have going on. If you were, I would want to make time for you. It would be a different situation, but I feel like everything I have going on is a problem.
Are they going to make it, Dad? Are they going to make it? Let me know.
And
I need to know.
Jay, being the stand-up guy that he is, unless he's playing the Packers.
Can I just tell you what he probably said? No,
he's learned to use his words.
He has? It's good. He's opening up.
Jay said, yep. And a tear ran down his eye. I got to do a better job. You're consumed with Uncommon James, and you should be. What the hell is Uncommon James? I don't know what that is. I'm also not supporting Kristin Cavallari as much as I should because I don't know what Uncommon James is.
Maybe it's a shoe line? Or her clothing line or something?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Oh, it's her jewelry line, I've just been told.
Of course.
I threw out a lifeline. Thank you, Justin.
Of course,
He
Justin
knows.
would know.
They all think she's hot. I don't think she's hot.
That's how you're going to be successful, and that's how you're going to run a good business and support me in retirement. I added that. It's a lot of change this year, said Jay. You're going from 0 to 60, and I just got to deal with it. Huh?
Who's wearing the pants now in the family?
Who wouldn't fall in love with Jay Cutler?
Coming up on a very special Dan and Amy.
Meet America's Silovicki at 5:38.
And later, that didn't take long. Police found and arrested the puppy dumper. That's what I've been calling her all day. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
44 degrees and more deaths reported from the Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka, raising them to 359. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the coordinated attacks that targeted Christian churches and luxury hotels. 8 are injured in San Francisco after a driver reportedly deliberately drove into them in the suburb of Sunnyvale. People were simply waiting to cross the street late last night. Police have arrested that driver. Former Vice President Joe Biden preparing to kick off his third presidential campaign with a video announcement now on Thursday. He'll then rally at a Pittsburgh Union Hall before touring early voting states. Meantime, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan is seriously thinking about a run for president, a Republican considering challenging President Trump. Former coach at USC is agreeing to cooperate with federal prosecutors in the college admissions cheating scandal. That could mean big trouble for actress Lori Loughlin and many others, according to attorney Royal Oakes.
But that could be reduced if she really plays ball with them, and if she can point the finger of blame at Loughlin or others, that could lower her sentence.
Laura Janke was looking at 33 months in jail if convicted. She was an assistant soccer coach at USC for 7 years. President Trump is headed to Georgia today to speak at a summit on the opioid crisis. At the same time, federal prosecutors are announcing criminal charges against a pharmaceutical distributor connected with the crisis, Rochester Drug Cooperative. according to court documents, conspired to try and hide its illegal distribution from the DEA. The winner of last month's $768 million Powerball jackpot has come forward. In Madison, Wisconsin, 24-year-old Manuel Franco said he bought the winning ticket at a Speedway gas station in suburban Milwaukee.
I honestly felt so lucky that I did look at the camera, and I really wanted to wink at it because I just had that lucky feeling.
Second largest jackpot ever in the U.S. The suburban Milwaukee resident says he realized he had the winning ticket after checking 10 tickets he bought before discarding them, and he will take that lump sum payout of $477 million. No one in custody following a deadly double shooting on Chicago's South Side. Chicago police continue investigating. The brothers who claim Jesse Smollett paid them to stage an attack on him are now suing the actor's attorneys for defamation. 4 adults and 2 children are hurt following a severe crash on Chicago's West Side in the 3400 block of West Congress Parkway. And suspended Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will start an assignment with AAA Iowa today. Russell is finishing a 40-game suspension for violating Major League Baseball's domestic abuse policy. He can be activated from the restricted list when the Cubs return home to play the Cardinals on May 3rd. Cubs were 7-2 winners over the Dodgers at Wrigley. Orioles rout the White Sox in Baltimore 9-1. 5:34. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
It's Health Quest Radio, Chicagoland's longest-running health, news, and science show with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba.
You know, people who age slower live longer. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. We can compare your biologic age with your chronologic age to determine how fast you're aging. Just a few seconds to safely scan for those advanced glycation end products that cause premature aging. And I'll pay for your first assessment. That's right, your first one is free. Then we'll give you a few things to do and retest in 60 days. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. But you gotta call our Health Quest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855. First one free if you make that call right now. Some conditions and restrictions to apply. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. Call 800-794-1855. It's Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:37. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
We are now seeing mild delays on the south side expressways inbound Stevenson. There's congestion between Cicero and Kedzie. Looking at about 36 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 5 at 34. Inbound Ryan, it's tight from 18th to Burns Circle. 17 minutes is the travel time. 95th to downtown. Outbound 15. There is road work from 87th split into 3 left lanes. I-57 is okay. There is outbound work at 159th and 167th. The ramps from 159th to 167th eastbound going to southbound I-57 are closed till 6 this morning. By Bishop Ford, you've got a 2-minute delay, Cottage Grove to the merge. Some road work on the tollways, but no delays right now. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, sunshine will mix with clouds. High of 63 today. Patchy clouds and 46 overnight. Currently 44 at O'Hare. Your next news update is coming your way at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and I'll tell you what, you have to give it to Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minnesota. She is courageously consistent. She's willing to criticize decisions made by her own party as well as decisions made by the Republican Party. And she's willing to do so always with this thought in mind. I will oppose anything that America does in advance of American values, in contravention of Islamist values, regardless of whether it's Republicans or Democrats doing it. She's consistent, there's no question. As this latest tweet controversy indicates, Omar tweeting in 2017 in response to Twitter users' lament about the death of 18 American soldiers and another 73 wounded in the Battle of Mogadishu in 1993 in Somalia. Quote, in his selective memory, he forgets to also mention the thousands of Somalis killed by the American forces that day, exclamation point, hashtag not today, Satan. Not today, Satan. Who's Satan? America? American soldiers? Not sure. Have to try and get a follow-up there fired into Ilhan Omar's office. See if she'll respond to that. Maybe somebody have to wait in the hallway and chase her to an elevator like they did last time to try and get a response to her anti-Semitic tweet du jour. That's Ilhan Omar's tweet. Any problems with that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Now, she is Somalian, although she and her family had been had left the area before the full warlordocracy took effect in Mogadishu in that country. Remember why we were in Somalia 25 years ago? You would think Omar would. She's Somalian.
Remember Black Hawk Down, right? The whole.
Right, 1993. 160 U.S. Army Rangers and other special operators and Task Force Ranger launched a raid into the heart of Mogadishu's Bakara market to capture 2 subordinates of the Somali warlord Mohammed Farah Adid. The mission, and this was again after much humanitarian support from America to Somalia, Ilhan Omar's home country, Somalian famine that took the lives of an estimated 300,000 people. And America was there to provide help to the Somalians who were starving to death. Not today, Satan, hashtag. 18 soldiers killed in Mogadishu. You'll remember, and this led to ultimately his ouster, Secretary of Defense Les Aspin, former congressman from Wisconsin, rejected the requests of commanders in Somalia for armed vehicles, tanks, AC-130 gunships, because he thought that would increase the danger to U.S. personnel. This was in a time during the Clinton administration, right? So these are Democrat president, Democrat Secretary of Defense. We're trying to reduce our military footprint the world over, reduce military expenditures. And this is also sort of a case study in the limits of American foreign policy that some have not learned. Not a clear mission for our soldiers. Was it humanitarian? Was it military? Was it state building? Not a clear mission, and some less than seamless interaction between the United States and the UN. Sergeant Major Kyle Lamb was there. He went on Tucker Carlson last night, and he reminded us why we were there, U.S. soldiers. Reminded Omar, too, since she seems to have forgotten.
No, we didn't do that. We were trying to take out Adid because he was a Klan leader that had, the Habagetter Klan had kind of taken over the town. They were taking the food, any of the aid that we were giving to Somalia, also weapons, and they're running drugs. Khat is a big drug over there. And he needed to be eliminated so that we could get peace back in that town. So we were actually there to help some of the lesser tribes or the lesser clans, such as her clan, which, obviously they were already gone. But, we were there to try to do the right thing. And the other thing is we didn't say, hey, let's pick out Somalia as a great place to go hang out. The president at the time, President Clinton, said this is where we're going, this is what the mission is, and our commander said, roger that, we can do it, and we all had signed on the line. That's why we serve, and you can make a difference when you go to those countries.
Trying to make a difference, including for the lesser tribes like Omar's. She and her family were fortunate enough to, as Smith mentioned, leave before then, emigrated to this country where she's become a congresswoman. And now spends all her time castigating America when she's not launching attacks on Jews.
Well, she should be grateful that she lives here. And that 9/11 comment that she made, some people did something. I mean, that was insulting to the victims of the terrorist attacks on 9/11. And now this, saying, not today, Satan. Clearly, she hates us. She sees us as the enemy. But yet when she needed help and her family needed help, where did they come?
That's right.
To America.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody hates us until they need us, really. And that's, they need, I don't know if they can censure her. I don't know if they could vote her out of office is the least people can do, in a year and a half from now.
Congratulations, Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, you're so diverse, Minnesota. Way to go. Oh, you made history, Minnesota.
Remember in Black Hawk Down, this was was depicted poignantly in Black Hawk Down. Those copters that go down, the soldiers who are injured, ultimately killed in a firefight in the streets of Mogadishu, dragged through the streets.
Oh, I know.
Ridley Scott did a wonderful job in that movie.
Very intense movie. It was a great movie. I loved that movie. But it's hard to watch. But, I mean, I wonder if she's ever watched that movie?
American soldiers mutilated and dragged through the streets of Mogadishu. And now a congresswoman, and a relatively recent tweet 2 years ago, she wasn't a child, saying he forgets to mention the thousands of Somalis killed by American forces that day, ! Not today, Satan, #. I mean, there's something so depraved about her mentality, and I mean, beyond embarrassing, shameful.
Well, I don't
that
trust
she is
her.
a member of Congress. Kyle Smith.
Do you trust her?
Kyle Smith went on. Do I trust her?
I mean, she just what? When we said not today, Satan, she has an ulterior motive. I don't trust her. I want her thrown out of office.
It's not an ulterior motive. It's her front and center motive that she is painfully clear about. There is nothing savvy or cagey about Ilhan Omar.
And I want to see how she spins this one, what her reasoning is.
Kyle Lamb had some comments specifically for Representative Omar.
Here's someone who was brought to the United States at public expense simply because we're a kind country that accepts a lot of refugees. And rather than being grateful for that, she spent the rest of her life attacking this country. Why?
Well, as they would say down here in Tennessee, bless her heart. I mean, we want her to understand that she's living large now because of her family being able to escape the atrocities of Mogadishu. And yeah, it's very disturbing. We watched our friends get drugged through the streets by the people that she says are her people. And we got to watch that on TV once we'd exfilled from the crash site that I was at, and we got back to our hangar. That's what we got to watch. So, yeah, we take it personal when you attack us like that. Once again, it's not surprising to hear that. There's been kind of a long list of things she said that I don't know if she meant them or not, but she continues to say them. So, yeah, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, maybe they can cook up another resolution to censure everybody who has or may make derogatory comments about American soldiers in theater, who are trying to, the mission was and their effort was to prevent more people they don't know from dying of starvation amid a country beset by warlordocracy. Maybe we can craft one of those resolutions. Because, Dick Durbin compares American soldiers to the Khmer Rouge and Stalinist commissars. So you got him, you got Omar now. They're piling up on the Democrat side. John in Palatine, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm just wondering, in your opinion, why do we have to put up with this in terms of Ilhan Omar's statement and rhetoric? If she were a Republican or a conservative, the whole Democratic leftist socialist enclave would just clamor down and demand her ouster. And I just can't believe that if you're a Christian, you have to apologize, or they won't they won't recognize Christianity being persecuted. And now they're basically saying that our soldiers or America is Satan. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Well, I don't think she ever would have made it if she was a conservative, because conservatives would have properly vetted her more and looked back 2 years at her tweets. I mean, all that information was there, and nobody cared to look at it. I mean, they knew her hatred towards America, and no one said anything. It's just strange, because they went with the movement. They went with what felt good. Let's be the first to have a Muslim woman congresswoman.
Well, thanks for the call, John. Arthur Brooks has that new book. We had him on our show, Love Your Enemies. Yeah, okay. I mean, in the Christian sense, but in the real world battlefield of politics here, I don't think so. I think it's not about hating. I'm with Kyle Lamb. I feel sorry for her. She's pathetic. She's a pathetic little person. A pathetic, hateful little person. And I feel sorry for people who are like that. And that's most of the left. Again, how do you know if somebody is? Either they're a member of Congress or they have a "hate has no home here" sign in their yard. Those are the leading indicators. I feel sorry, but I'm not going to provide aid and comfort to them. Don't hate them, but I'm not going to love them either. I'm not going to say, we have differences of opinion and we need to forge common. No. This is a person who has nothing but hate and disgust for everything upon which this country was founded, everything she and her family sought when they escaped Somalia, and the fact that there is not more. There's not more emphasis on her as a member of Congress. And after all of the leading lights of the left rallied to her defense or engaged in the role of her apologist after the 9/11 tweet Amy mentioned, no. That's over. Candace in Mount Pleasant.
Good morning. Thanks for the clarity on this, Dan. It drives me crazy, though, when I see these Christian leaders being so weak on on her comments. It drives me crazy. And the other thing is, Dan, Dennis Prager said last week, you're not an adult if you're a leftist. And I happen to agree with him. You cannot be courageous or be an adult if you're a leftist. And
Thanks, Candace.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The kids grew up so fast. Hard to believe it's been over 20 years since you were playing catch in the backyard or showing your youngest around the kitchen. Lots of memories in this house. But maybe it's time to make new memories in a house that's more suited to your current lifestyle. McNaughton Development brings all the quality, style, and upscale details you love in your current home in a custom home that better suits your present needs. You don't have to scale down and sacrifice everything you love in the home where your kids grew up. With McNaughton, you get the highest quality custom residential construction with exclusive amenities. Right now, McNaughton is building Lakeside Point of Burr Ridge. It's a community with 44 home sites in the heart of the Burr Ridge Village Center, featuring 7 refined ranch and first-floor master 2-story floor plans. You can walk to the finest restaurants and shops in Burr Ridge and enjoy maintenance-free living in a park setting with natural lake. Visit them online, luxuryemptynester.com, to learn more about Lakeside Point of Burr Ridge and their other suburban communities. luxuryemptynester.com.
With summer fast approaching, now's the time to fill your son's schedule with athletics, STEM, and academic enrichment camps from Northridge Prep summer programs for boys grades 6 through 8 for the week of July 29th to August 2nd. Drop off your son at 9, pick him up at 3 for a full day of fun and new skills. In the morning, investments and personal finance led by 2 entrepreneurial Northridge seniors and small business owners. This camp will teach your son to manage his money and grow it into business opportunities, charitable giving, or whatever project he can dream up. In the afternoon, Guitar 101. It's an introduction to the skills your son will need to play any genre, including rock, blues, classical, and more. This camp aims to instill a love of music in your son. All skill levels are welcome. Seats are limited for all camps, and some, like the Dangerous Camp for Boys, are already 100% filled up. So learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org/summer. northridgeprep.org/summer.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're purchasing a home, please listen to this important message. Other mortgage brokers advertise about getting pre-approved to purchase a home, even though they know pre-approvals are worthless. They're worthless because you can't purchase a home with a pre-approval letter. But you can purchase a home with a Team Hochberg approval letter. Team Hochberg will underwrite and approve your loan before you meet with a realtor. You'll know exactly what you can afford, and you can close within 14 business days of signing a contract. If you want to secure a pre-approval letter you can't use to purchase a home, call the other guys. If you're interested in securing an approval to purchase a home, call the local mortgage experts on Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
Hey, before you go buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider the MyPillow mattress topper. It's a lot less expensive, and it will revitalize your mattress. I have one, and frankly don't know if I love my pillow or my MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. Order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard MyPillows. The exclusive 3-layer design is perfect. There's foam, there's transitional foam to help relieve those pressure points, and ultra soft patented temperature regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% on your MyPillow mattress topper when you use promo code Amy. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
What would you be willing to spend to make an often frustrating aspect of your business run smoothly, perfect, hassle-free? Yep, talking about IT, networks, computers. Sure, it would be great to hire an entire IT department, but that would be expensive. There's salaries, benefits, space for new employees, equipment. Nope, not going to happen. Or could it? For only $7.95 a month, you can make your IT issue a thing of the past with Turnkey IT. Just like your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure and they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department and help with all your daily IT issues, plus preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with your technology.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
The search for a great dentist. It's never an easy task. It can be exhausting finding the right dentist and staff, not only to get beautiful results, but one that you're comfortable with. This may make your search a bit easier. How about choosing a dentist recently voted as one of the top 40 Chicagoland dentists by Chicago Magazine? That's Dr. Michael Unti at Palatine Complete Dental. He, along with his skilled team, are interested in being your family dentist. Palatine Complete Dental is a high-tech dental practice offering services in cosmetic and family dentistry, implant placement and restoration, including implant retained dentures and bridges, braces, Invisalign, and TMJ therapy. They'll go out of their way to make each visit a pleasant experience. Your search for a dentist is over. Get results that speak for themselves. Bright, healthy, head-turning smiles. Schedule an appointment today with Dr. Michael Unti at Palatine Complete Dental. Quality care with Christian values. Go to PalatineDentist.com. PalatineDentist.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi argues that impeachment is a political question that shouldn't be decided based on politics. Huh? At 6:06.
And this time, will Kim Foxx really recuse herself? But first, let's go straight into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Kim Foxx is refusing to appear before the Cook County Board. We'll tell you why. One killed, one wounded in a South Side shooting. Cubs cruise past the Dodgers, and the Orioles power past the White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Digging in against the Democrats. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump says he will oppose White House officials and former officials testifying in Congress. Here's Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington.
Chris, the president's pushing back on renewed investigations in Congress, telling the Washington Post House Democrats should be satisfied with the White House's cooperation in the Mueller probe. The paper reports White House lawyers will exert executive privilege over any compelled testimony from former aides and former counsel Don McGahn. The president said counsel had not made a final decision on that. If the White House defies subpoenas or exerts executive privilege, it could lead to a protracted legal battle. Chris?
Well, and Rachel, the White House yesterday directed former Personnel Security Director Carl Klein to ignore a congressional subpoena to talk about security clearances granted to members of the administration. There could be a vote to hold Klein in contempt of Congress. Also yesterday, the IRS missed another House committee's deadline to turn over President Trump's tax returns. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the Justice Department is reviewing legal options there. A tweet from the Customs and Border Patrol Agency just out says there have been more apprehensions 7 months into this fiscal year at the border than all of fiscal year 2018, 418,000 as of last week. North Korea's leader has arrived in Russia.
Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin are expected to meet tomorrow in Vladivostok, in Russia's Far East, close to the North Korean border. It's their first one-on-one meeting. Just like his February summit with President Trump, Kim is predicted to make another pitch for relief from international sanctions imposed over North Korea's nuclear weapons program. The US has so far resisted those calls, saying Kim hasn't offered enough in return. In London, Simon Owen, Fox News.
Members of the FBI and U.S. military are in Sri Lanka to help investigate Sunday's suicide bombings. The number of confirmed deaths there is up to 359. This is Fox News.
Fair skies, a little chilly, 44 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A construction worker is hurt following a crash this morning on the Kennedy Expressway near Rosemont. State police say a silver Mercedes veered into a construction zone near the Cumberland exit early this morning. Mercedes then rear-ended a construction vehicle, which then hit a worker. No one is in custody following a deadly double shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police say 2 men were shot last night sitting in a vehicle parked outside Sherwood Elementary School. A custody hearing involving the brother of a missing suburban Chicago boy and their parents has been continued for now. Joanne Cunningham and Andrew Friend Sr., parents of missing 5-year-old Andrew A.J. Friend, appeared Tuesday in McHenry County Circuit Court. They are seeking custody of their 4-year-old son, Parker. Meantime, new details are emerging about the home of the 5-year-old boy who went missing last week in Crystal Lake. In December, one officer said there were dog feces and urine on the floor of the Friend home. Authorities also released the 911 call that AJ's father made to report him missing. The brothers who claim Jesse Smollett paid them to stage an attack on him in Chicago are suing the actor's attorneys for defamation. Meantime, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx will ignore an order to appear before the county board tomorrow to testify about her office's poor handling of the Jesse Smollett case. The Florida Ethics Commission may have a little trouble making a case against Andrew Gillum. Former Tallahassee mayor's hearing is set to begin today, but some key witnesses might not be able to testify. A judge yesterday saying he will not force Andrew Gillum's brother to testify. Marcus Gillum has been stashed away here in Chicago. Former friend and lobbyist Adam Corey and an undercover FBI agent are expected to testify. Wilson Contreras' 3-run double highlights a 4-run first. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers at Wrigley. Orioles 4 home runs in a rout of the White Sox in Baltimore, 9-1. The news service of Indeed.com, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Business owners and HR professionals post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates on an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 6:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains his opposition to mass immigration.
The answer is they bring un-American values. They're not bad people. The biggest one of the un-American values is they bring belief in big government. That's it. And big government will destroy the American story, the American dream, the American ideal, the American hope.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Spring has sprung, and there's never been a better time to give your bedroom the makeover it so badly needs. Make your bed more comfortable and save some money in the process during the Boll & Branch Think Spring Sale. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch, makers of the world-famous ultra-soft sheets that are loved by 3 U.S. presidents and millions of Americans. You know our prices are always great, but right now, everything at BollandBranch.com is 20% off. I'll say it again, 20% off. That means our award-winning sheets start at just $160, and shipping is free. These are $1,000 sheets for less than a couple $100. And you can save on our towels, blankets, pillows, even our award-winning mattress. Don't miss this sale. We don't have them often. And remember, Mother's Day is just around the corner. The Think Spring Sale is ending soon, so get 20% off everything before it ends at BollandBranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com. BollandBranch.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com.
6:07 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Metra is reporting some delays on the BNSF line this morning due to switch problems. The inbound Kennedy has heavy traffic, Harlem to Foster. It's 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. Edens is still looking good. Inbound Eisenhower, scattered delays start around van time. 35 minutes from 390 to downtown. Outbound 29. Down Stevenson, heavy starting at Harlem. 44 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishopford 19. About Tri-State, it's tight from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Eastbound Reagan Tollway has congestion now from 22nd to Roosevelt. The other tollways are good. Northwest Indiana looks fine. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A mix of sun and clouds today, our high 63, some patchy clouds tonight, low 49. Times of sun and clouds and a passing shower tomorrow afternoon, the high 70. Sunny, breezy day on Friday with a high 65. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. At least Slate.com was honest. One liberal rag that was honest. President Trump's personality is an impeachable offense. That was their op-ed. His personality, his chaotic management style, an impeachable offense. That's what they really have. Holman Jenkins has an excellent piece in the Wall Street Journal. Meet America's Silovicki. That's a little Russian, like their intelligence services reference. But he writes, the idea that Trump's arrival somehow sullied the culture of Washington not only is absurdly overstated, it licensed the mood of conspiracy against him. He's not even the sketchiest person to hold the office in my lifetime. Quote, there was no trusting anything he said or did on any given day, unquote, writes historian Robert Dallek in his book about LBJ. I'm sure we could have a conversation about Nixon, too, among others. Mr. Trump, Jenkins goes on, is simply the sketchiest that voters ever knowingly, deliberately, with clear eyes and full hearts elected. And thank you for the Friday Night Lights reference, Holman Jenkins. That's really it. I think he nails it. Those two paragraphs nail it. They nail what Americans did in 2016, and they nail what Democrats have done since 2016. Nancy Pelosi couldn't be as honest, though she tried. You know, this is a political question, this issue of impeachment, said Nancy Pelosi speaking at Time 100 conference, Time magazine. It's a political question, but politics should play no part in the decision.
Oh, please. Come on.
That's what she said. Listen to her.
Impeachment is one of the most divisive forces, paths that we could go down to in our country. But if the path of fact-finding takes us there, we have no choice. But we're not there yet. And as I've said in my letter, I said to my members, I say to you, as I said earlier, there are many ways to hold the president accountable. The Congress, the Justice Department may have not decided to use its full power to impeach, to indict. Congress will not be silent in terms of using our constitutional power to find the facts for the American people. But as I say, impeachment is a step that you have to take with this, bringing the American people with you.
So it's politics, right?
We shouldn't impeach for a political reason, and we shouldn't not impeach for a political reason.
That's a bunch of gobbledygook.
Well, it's, not to mention contradictory gobbledygook.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes no sense.
She struggles with the sense-making, does Nancy Pelosi. Not her forte. And, by the way, again, we talked about this the other day. Victor Davis Hanson nailed it. A lot of people have thought the same. The effort to not only go after Trump with their continuing investigations to keep him distracted and the public focused on bad man, orange hair in the White House, subpoenaing McGahn, keep the Mueller report fallout going, demanding his tax returns, try to see if there are offshoots that they can use as well against the president. But also going after Barr because they have some concerns about what might be coming from the DOJ Inspector General report, as well as from Bill Barr's look back at 2016. And there's a number of indications, including some recent ones, as to why they should be a little bit concerned. Thank God for Judicial Watch, the shadow Department of Justice during the Obama years. As part of a court-ordered discovery related to Clinton's unauthorized email server, Bill Priestap, who was a Clinton aide, was asked by conservative watchdog Judicial Watch to identify representatives of Clinton and her State Department staff and government agencies from which email repositories were obtained by the FBI. His non-exhaustive list included the Executive Office of the President. He specifically mentioned Clinton Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills, other aides, Heather Samuelson, Jacob Sullivan, Justin Cooper, former Clinton IT staffer Brian Pagliano, the State Department, Secret Service, and the Washington-based law firm of Williams and Connolly. Priestap answering these questions in writing under oath as part of a federal lawsuit, a discovery in a federal suit, examining Hillary Clinton's use of the server, encompassing Obama administration senior State Department officials, lawyers, and Clinton aides, as well as Priestap. The astonishing confirmation of the Priestap, FBI. I think I misidentified him as a Clinton aide. FBI, Bill Priestap. Writes Tom Fitton, the astonishing confirmation made under oath by the FBI shows that the Obama FBI had to go to President Obama's White House to find emails that Hillary Clinton tried to destroy or hide from the American people. No wonder Hillary Clinton has thus far skated Barack Obama is implicated in her email scheme. Priestap's a former assistant director of the FBI's counter-intel. Oh, and by the way, the idea that Obama is implicated in her email scheme and that's why James Comey invented the intent requirement to pursue charges against Hillary Clinton, to explain why he didn't pursue charges, invented that. Andy McCarthy argued long ago that the problem that Comey had, that the FBI had, is to go after Clinton is to expose Obama and perhaps generate some sort of constitutional crisis or certainly fall out of favor with the ruling class elites, of which Comey is one, so he wouldn't fall out of favor with himself. He wouldn't do it. Really interesting stuff. And this points up exactly what Democrats are worried about. So again, they're looking to smear Bill Barr as some Trump apparatchik for accurately summarizing the contents of the Mueller report and giving, 5 minutes of perspective before the report was released. And a more unredacted report released to relevant members of congressional committees like Judiciary. Greg and Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan and Amy, thanks for taking this call. Everyone, of any call I've ever placed, this is the most important one, and I have been saying this for a couple of years now. This is absolutely true because I was a loan officer and everybody else had to do this, and it has to go to the nature of BlackBerry technology. I want you all to think back to about 2002 when smartphone came out. BlackBerry was the leader in the industry, and their phones were really clunky. Then when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone in 2007 and when the Androids came out thereafter and they became cool, Obama instantly became president in 2008, and I'm going to be referring to that in a minute. No president had a smartphone previously, but Obama had one on the campaign trail. And remember, he made a big deal that they were going to take his BlackBerry away from him, and he said, no, you're not. Okay, now the reason why they didn't do that is because BlackBerry was the standard for banks, financial industry, and the government. And the reason why that was is because they put their own proprietary server in it. So that makes sense to you technically. What that means is think of your phone and think of a pipe to the server, okay? Nothing else could get in that, and therefore the repository of the emails that Dan's referencing was on that server. And I've been saying this for 2 years, that as soon as Obama answered one of Hillary's non.gov emails,
right?
The .govs were in that pipeline. He then broke the law, she broke the law, and everything else in that. So if somebody had any kind of technical capability whatsoever, and just so, since we got this much invested, just 30 more seconds, Dan. In 2008 through about 2010, when the iPhone was making its impact, industry came out with capabilities that built in the same BlackBerry capability, but for the cooler phones, because BlackBerry didn't keep up with graphics and movies and stuff like that, and everybody wanted to go to those phones. So that's the reason why when 2010, when Obama and all of the Todd Frank stuff came out, everybody had to switch off from that mechanism of doing loans into a more complex system. And one last point, Dan, this is absolutely crucial. Anybody that knows anything about POP emails is that when you got stuff on a server, it pushes it out to any matching email address. It made absolutely sense when the Wiener emails popped up on their laptop. Everybody had to certify. They certified they didn't have this on their laptop, but they didn't think they would get caught because they didn't understand POP technology. These emails that are outside of a BlackBerry configuration from that time frame are literally on tons of people's computers, and it's unforgivable that the Justice Department doesn't have this technical ability to go after and get it. Thanks.
Thanks for the call, Greg, and the technical workshop. It's helpful to Amy, who still uses a BlackBerry.
I finally got rid of mine, okay?
All right, very good.
But I was one of the last people to do it.
But it's a technical question, okay, in part, but it's more of a law enforcement question in terms of integrity. And this is what Jenkins gets to, going back to his column. He uses the Carter Page exoneration in the Mueller report as the basis to make this point. He talks about Dmitry Peskov, who's Putin's closest aide, responding to associates who arranged Carter Page's speaking invitation in St. Petersburg in July of 2016. One of the bases that was used to get the surveillance warrant on Carter Page. He's, an important Russian asset. Mr. Peskov, Putin's aide, wrote, quote, "I have read about Page. Specialists say that he's far from being the main one, so I better not initiate a meeting in the Kremlin." The Russians recognized him for, a irrelevant person. But this was a toehold for the FBI. Jenkins writes, "So much again for the idea that the insubstantial Mr. Page was collusion's Mr. Big. Washington's intelligence and law enforcement bureaucracy knows a great deal more about things that have been central bones of contention in our national political life than the American people have been allowed to know. And what I hope will be the first of many, New York Times last weekend finally, as we've talked about in this show, described the FBI's suspicion the Steele dossier was influenced by Kremlin disinformation. Likewise, a few hundred officials with security clearances know the truth behind FBI Director Jim Comey's serial interventions in the Hillary Clinton email case. Interventions that began, we learned only belatedly from press leaks, was some kind of intercepted Russian intel that someone placed in Comey's hands. The questions raised by these episodes are monumental and will outlast the war over whether Mr. Trump is a nice man or not. Did Comey and his colleagues turn us into Russia, where the Siloviki, vets of the intel services, secretly and incompetently pull the strings of domestic politics? Did Comey and his colleagues turn us into Russia? Because as Holman Jenkins said, Trump is hardly capable of lying with the consistency of purpose that John Brennan and James Clapper have lied and likely will continue to lie. The White House was destined to be chaotic with Trump, but how many presidents would not be thrown off balance by former high-ranking intel officials going on cable TV and calling them traitors? Really, really important piece and questions raised by what we continue to learn about 2016 by Holman Jenkins in his piece in the Wall Street Journal. Continue to learn because, as he said, these law enforcement and intelligence individuals who are part of the concerted effort to end the Trump presidency as soon as humanly possible know a lot more than they've been disclosing to the American public. Dennis in Villa Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, like I was saying to your screener, way back when the campaign was kicking off for Hillary Clinton, Obama was not out there really helping her. But when this thing really started to kick into gear in the late part of her campaign and all this stuff about the emails, all of a sudden he starts helping, because I think that's when they came to the realization that if the thing really came out, he would be implicated. So her thing is, you help me, otherwise you go down with me.
Thanks, Dennis.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
If you maintain an industrial plant, you know your dust collection systems are a vital part of the operation of your plant. Without them, things can get dusty quick. And when your dust collection system malfunctions, the downtime can cost your plant money. Time to call the professionals at Vans Industrial for help.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. At Vans, we work with many different types and sizes of dust collectors, from 1,000 CFM to 100,000 CFM. If your system needs housing repair, tube sheet, pulse valves, ductwork, or collection hoods, give us a call. Schedule an inspection today to keep things running smoothly and avoid costly downtime. And when you're ready for a new dust collector, we can design your system from the collection hoods to the stack for plants of all size applications.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
If your business depends on a Sprinter or light-duty diesel, you can't afford to have just anyone care for your major investment and important equipment. You wouldn't go to an eye doctor to fix your knees, so don't go to any shop to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Only go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's doesn't just fix problems, they find solutions. Remke's goal is making sure you never lose a dollar of business. That's why owner Joe Remke will customize a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Remke's Garage specializes in Sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle for free. Go to remkesgarage.com for your free maintenance plan consultation. That's Remke's Garage, R-E-M-K-E-S, remkesgarage.com. Or call them today at 815-923-4182. Be sure to mention AM 560. That number again, 815-923-4182.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the Ace Buy One Get One Free sale, now through Monday only. Don't miss out on all our great deals throughout the store. Save on top brands like Scott's and Ortho. Plus get deals on other products you'll need this spring, like birdseed, spray paint, light bulbs, and more. With so many great Buy One Get One Free deals, you can't afford to miss it. So hurry in. The Ace Buy One Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Hi, my name's Ken, and I own Good Start Packaging in Bedford, New Hampshire. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. And last year, that added up to $36,000 in cash back. That's right, $36,000. Thanks to that, I was able to offer healthcare to my employees. The Spark Cash Card did a lot for my business. Imagine what it could do for yours. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers paid for real stories. Credit approval required.
I already took mine. 6 capsules, a balance of natures, 3 fruits, 3 veggies. And it's great to know that you're getting a full day supply of fruits and veggies in single capsules, that there's no preservative, no dyes. Because admit it, none of us eat enough fruits and veggies on our own. And that's why Balance of Nature is so great. It's easy and it's healthy. And yes, the testimonials you hear on this station are real. Dr. Douglas Howard cares about his product, cares about his customers, and having them live happier and healthier lives, all because of Balance of Nature. So get on board and try Balance of Nature. Now's the perfect time to start because you can lock in your price for fruits and vegetables today and get free shipping on every order. If you lock in now, you won't pay more when the cost of produce starts to rise later this year, and that is expected to happen. So call today. Call one of their health coaches. They're not operators, health coaches. 800-246-8751. They'll answer any questions you have. Again, 800-246-8751. Use promo code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com. Promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
DuPage County State Representative Diane Pappas has a way to solve the abortion problem. Male castration at 6:36.
Where do you guys sign up? That'll be great. Maybe that could be my side hustle.
Who says it'll be voluntary in Illinois?
But first, let's get into the newsroom.
Good thing I'm done.
Wow. Ouch. Yeah, well, thank you for letting us know that, Mike.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Well, I'm really old, so.
All right, well, you just take that news there now. Go ahead there, buddy.
Blue skies, 43 degrees at 6:29. U.S. military and FBI officials have arrived in Sri Lanka to assist in the investigation of Sunday's deadly bomb attacks. Over 350 were killed in the suicide bombings at luxury hotels and Christian churches on Easter Sunday. Sri Lanka's president says he was kept in the dark about the intelligence on the planned attacks and vowed to take action against officials who failed to share information. 8 people are injured in California after a driver reportedly deliberately drove into them. Police in Sunnyvale say the driver plowed into the group while they were waiting to cross the street. The youngest victim, 13. Hillary Clinton is suggesting that Donald Trump would be indicted if he were not president. Speaking in New York yesterday, the former Democrat presidential nominee talked about the special counsel Robert Mueller report.
What I thought it was saying is, look, we think he obstructed justice. Here are 11 examples of why we think he obstructed justice, but we're under the control of the Justice Department, and their rule is you can't indict.
She says there appears to be enough there that any person who engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted, according to Hillary Clinton. Hundreds of new words are showing up in today's latest edition of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. New words, new entries include words and phrases commonly used in popular culture, like swole. Do you know this one? S-W-O-L-L-E? That describes a muscular person. And snowflake, used to describe someone who is overly sensitive. In other news we're following this morning, a construction worker is hurt following a crash on the Kennedy Expressway early this morning near Rosemont. No one is in custody following a deadly double shooting on Chicago's South Side. It happened last night. 2 men were shot inside a parked vehicle near Sherwood Elementary School on West 57th Street. The brothers who claim Jesse Smollett paid them to stage an attack are suing the actor's attorneys for defamation. The Osindario brothers filed that suit yesterday, claiming Smollett's legal team has continued to smear them after a Cook County prosecutor dropped all charges against the actor.
Today's suit enables us to make sure that those consequences are decided in a court of law, not on a cable news network, not in an interview on a TV station.
That's attorney Gregory Koulis. Authorities continue investigating after a man fell to his death on Chicago's near north side. Police say the man tumbled from a 34th floor penthouse yesterday in the 200 block of East Delaware Place. This morning, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul will lay out tightening rules for people who go door to door and try to sell new power suppliers. Raoul telling reporters that many times people are sold an alternative energy company that actually costs more than the current provider. He says the sales pitches make it seem as if people can save hundreds, but in reality, they never see those savings. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers at Wrigley. Orioles slam 4 home runs in a 9-1 rout of the White Sox in Baltimore. Raptors, Sixers, and Blazers move on in the NBA playoffs. The news, a service of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com. 6:33, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says we are finally at the end.
This is it for the collusion delusion. It's over. They have nothing else that is coming. And to watch, what's happening with the media mob freaking out that the Attorney General has stated what is an irrefutable fact, that the Trump campaign was spied on by our own federal government. They're freaking out.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. Spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Our time is 6:36, and let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Telemonti.
Eastbound on the Reagan Tollway, I-88 this morning, traffic is stop and go from 83 to the Tri-State due to ongoing construction. The northbound Tri-State has scattered delays between the Stevenson and the Bensonville Bridge. On Edens, tight Foster to Montrose. 21 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Cumberland. 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 13 from Montrose, 10 on the Express. Outbound 24 minutes to the airport. Inbound Honest and Howard's heavy starting around Manheim. 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Around Stevenson, already 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 424. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine this morning mixing with some afternoon clouds. A high of 63. Currently at O'Hare, 44, 43 along the lakefront. And your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Am I wrong? Is she wrong? Diane Pappas, she's a state representative, newly minted as of January of this year. DuPage County, eastern DuPage County, communities like Carroll Stream, Bloomingdale. She recently took a meeting with Jackie Hayden.
Jackie!
And a group of other residents of DuPage in her district. Jackie Hayden memorializing this in op-ed at DuPagePolicyJournal.com. They went as a coalition from a local parish in Wayne Township to meet her to discuss the infanticide legislation that is bouncing around Springfield. Hayden writes, "We try to keep politics out of the equation as we were here to represent the parish members for pro-life. I personally introduced myself as a business owner, as a licensed insurance agent. 2 minutes into the discussion, she revealed her views on the topic of infanticide and how we won't be able to change her mind. She's pro-infanticide. She's one of these newly minted Democrat socialists who defeated a useless Republican in DuPage County, where the Republican Party is vestigial, like your tail in the evolutionary construct, as it is generally in Cook and the Collars. So this is how somebody like Diane Pappas gets in. By the way, since we were congratulating Minneapolis about Ilhan Omar, nice work, Minneapolis. Hey, nice work.
Bloomingdale.
Bartlett, Hanover Park, West Chicago, Wayne, Carroll Stream, Bloomingdale, Itasca, Roselle, Wooddale, Medina, and Addison. Nice work. Diane Pappas, do you even know who she is? Of course you don't. She, in the conversation, offered this, quote, "You know, ladies, with technology the way it is, we wouldn't have an abortion problem if we applied a plan."
What's the plan?
I'm so glad you asked. Now, I've been told it's a bit radical.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Cinch it up and hunker down.
Now everyone's listening. All right.
Now, I've been told it's a bit radical, but if we allowed men to be castrated,
Oh, boy. Get rid of the naughty bits.
Took the sperm to the bank, collected tax dollars on it for storage.
Oh.
Then when it's time to have the man decide he's ready to begin a family, well, then the problem is solved. Which is more disquieting, ladies and gentlemen, male castration or taxing sperm storage? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. The joke used to be they're going to tax the air we breathe.
Yeah.
How about the sperm we transmit? Enjoy that oatmeal.
Let's generate revenue off of stored sperm, she says.
That's how we're going to pay for those pensions. This is a state representative in DuPage County.
Diane Pappas, any relation to Maria Pappas?
Not that I know of.
They kind of look alike. Well, no, Maria Pappas looks good compared to Diane Pappas.
What about that? So I'll take either topic, taxing sperm or castration as the means to prevent unwanted pregnancies and thus eliminating the abortion problem, considering Illinois is the abortion dumping ground in the Midwest. We have tourist abortions here.
Yeah, people come in because our tax dollars pay for their abortions.
Correct. Thank you,
Why pay
Governor
for it when
Rauner.
you can just go to Illinois for a weekend and get an abortion?
What do you think? Which has more appeal to you, Amy?
Well, I'm going to go, if I had to choose
I'm not saying
between,
it's an easy call.
Well, I want to process this, and I want to make an informed, intelligent decision on this. So I have a choice between castration and taxing stored sperm.
Well, that's not a choice because Diane Pappas supports both.
Okay, so she
you can
wants
have
you
your
to store your sperm and then get castrated?
You can have your sperm and, well, I better not do that. You can,
watch it there, Proft. Words with Proft go crazy.
You can have your sperm and your castration.
Okay, so you
can
store
have it
your
all.
sperm and then get castrated and then decide at a later date if you do want to get somebody pregnant, you go back to the bank.
The ladies can have it all. Now, don't forget, we're living in the era of artificial wombs. Right, you're familiar with this, the technology that's been used to bring lambs to full term outside the sheep's belly.
Oh, gross! What's this now?
Well, it's not. This is past. This is where science is. Big plastic sack filled with synthetic amniotic fluid. A tube going into the bag supplies the fluid, another tube drains it. Biobags, artificial wombs. So the nice thing about the 21st century and our embrace of godlessness is, you can take mom and dad completely out of childbearing. Dad's sperm is in the Diane Pappas sperm bank, where it's maturing while being used as revenue source for the state. And then you use one of the bio bags for the artificial womb, so mom doesn't have to go through the pain of childbirth. Now, I mean, there is an application for the bio bag. I don't want to be totally dismissive of it, which is to bring preemies further to term to save the life of babies born prematurely. But of course, the concern about where this brave new world could lead us, and frankly, what the disposition is in American culture and culture in the West today. But anyway. Wouldn't that be fun? Take all mom and dad out of it, and just have it be like really like the Matrix comes to Illinois.
This is shocking. That this is a serious comment that she's made, but she's suddenly growing silent though over the comments she made. She isn't. More publications are reaching out to her for comment.
I bet they are.
And she's failing to follow up with her castration remarks. Dan,
is
she in hiding now?
She's a visionary. She's a big picture person.
She's a big picture person.
So she hasn't filled in all the details yet, but she knows that the pillars, castration, and sperm taxation. All right.
It's a twofer, everybody.
Mike on the north side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Yeah, I think we'd have to go with the taxing aspect of this because Mike from the north side does not want anyone taking scissors to little Mikey from the south side. And I want to know, I want to know if the hotels in the Gold Coast are going to advertise around their weekends. When you come in from out of state, you get a mint on your pillow, a glass of wine, and your abortion paid for by the state, and you leave Chicago 20 pounds lighter.
Oh, okay, Mike, please.
God. Thanks, Mike.
But you're funny. Take care of the South Side, Mike, if you know what we mean.
Yes. And please never bring him up again. Frank in Naperville.
I'm a little bit upset with this Pappas. What if the day I go to donate, some sperm, and I feel like I identify as a woman that day, and she said a man donates sperm? Why can't a woman donate sperm? I'm very upset about this, Dan.
Yes. Thanks for the call, Frank.
Okay, that sound effect is
there's a little bit too much pleasure Justin is getting from that sound effect. Sparingly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Poundage, not tonnage, over there in the control booth.
You think people in her district are paying attention now to see who they voted? Because I know a lot of people were so mad at Trump, they just walked into the booth and just put Democrat down. Didn't even really look or investigate the candidates.
Do I think people are paying attention now? No, I sure don't.
Even when it means the naughty bits?
They'll be the last to know. They'll be on the way to the mill before they figure it out.
Oh.
As long as free pizza.
Oh, my God.
a pizza party. Speaking of family,
wow.
How important is family? Marriage. This is a very interesting comparison from Mark Perry over at the American Enterprise Institute, not on castration and sperm taxation, but on the percentage of births in the U.S. to unmarried women by race and the associated household income, comparing the unwed mother's income to median income by race. Percentage of U.S. births by two unmarried women by race. Asian community, 12%. White, 28%. Overall, it's 40%. But again, Asian, 12. White, 28. Hispanic, 52. American Indian, 69. Black, 69. Remember those percentages. Asian, 12. White, 28. Hispanic, 52. American Indian, 69. Black, 69. That's in 2017, according to the National Center for Health Statistics. The household income? Here, hold on a second. I'll find this. While I find this other chart.
I want to take Mike.
Mike in Highland Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, I'm a constituent of Pappas' in Highland Park. I'm in Carroll Stream.
Oh, well, that makes more sense. Okay, you're a constituent. We concede the point.
Yeah. I tried calling her office, and I tried nailing her down on trying to get her to say, instead of having these things during the day, why don't you have them at night? I mean, I tried to explain to her. I said, the Democrat people all show up at these things during the day because the Republicans have to work to pay for the Democrats that sit at home. As far as being castrated, the only thing that needs to be castrated is her.
No, that's going to be difficult.
And we had Christine Winger before that, and you really didn't support her.
No, I didn't.
So, no, I mean, we got just. I think there was a movie out called Dumb and Dumber. So, I mean, we're just kind of stuck with this woman for the next 2 years or so. But it's you calling her office is. I'm better off talking to my dog.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
Let's
Appreciate
call
it.
her castration queen. Huh?
Yeah.
Does it stick for you?
Would you say that State Representative Diane Pappas is nuts? Here's the thing. Going back to this, births to unmarried women by race. Okay, 12% Asian, 28% white, 52 Hispanic, 69 for American Indian and Black. Median household income by race. Asians, 81 grand. Whites, 68 grand. Hispanics, Hispanics, 50 grand. Blacks, 40 grand. So the income goes up. It's inversely proportional. The income by racial category goes up as the number of births, the percentage of births, I should say, the percentage of births declines. The highest, you have the lowest median household income. The lowest, you have the highest household median income. It's not surprising, but it's good to put the data behind it. You want people to be economically successful. You want to dispense with the notion of, can I afford a child as the basis for abortion? You don't need to castrate men or tax sperm, for God's sakes. You need to educate young people to accomplish a few things, as I've said so many times on this show. I don't think it's too high a standard. Finish high school. Don't commit a crime. Don't commit a crime. Finish high school. Don't commit a crime. Get a job. Any job, doesn't matter. Minimum wage job and work your way up. Any job. And don't have children before you get married.
Yep.
If you accomplish those four things, you have a 99% chance of never living in poverty. Is that too high a bar for your children? or for families with children or thinking about having children? I don't think so. Taxing sperm, male castration. Would you say that's Diane Pappas's wet dream?
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Coca-Cola's stunning first quarter bounce back and new home sales up nearly 5%. And Twitter unlocks its threads for new users. Those stories next.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
The Commerce Department reports new home sales jumped 4.5% in March, the third straight monthly gain. New home sales rebounding back in November 2018 after 30-year mortgage rates started their decline. Yesterday, Coca-Cola surprised investors with a better-than-expected first quarter, profits $1.7 billion, and Coke's revenue grew 5% to more than $8 billion. Twitter announcing a stellar performance in the first quarter, quarterly profits solid, powered by strong advertising demand, its stock up 15%, and Twitter says its number of daily users rose 11%. And Twitter's about to roll out an experimental app, an app that will let users view an entire thread rather than clicking on each individual post. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Tiege Hanley, gentlemen. Tiege Hanley. Tiege.com, Tiege.com. This is the skincare company that is focused on how men think about and treat their skin. It's simple, affordable, effective. I'm using the products and actually enjoying them, and I've never used skincare products before, like I'm sure most of you haven't. You get all the products you need for your daily skincare regimen shipped directly to your door through their subscription service, so you don't have to go shopping. It's insufferable as that is. Choose from 3 skincare systems. Each of them include a wash, a scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20, so you don't need to worry about putting suntan lotion on. You go play golf or hit the gun range or whatever. And right now, you go to Tiege.com/DanProft and use the promo code DAN20, Dan and the number 20, and that gets you 20% off your first box. That's Tiege.com, Tiege.com/DanProft, and the promo code DAN20.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I have all my employees in my company take Balance of Nature. And what it does is it's reduced my sick time to having someone out every week, or sometimes, 2 people out a week, to we have almost no out time at all. Ever since we've had all of our employees take it, it's been amazing. They all fought and resisted at first, but then it's like, you miss 4 days a month. I said, how much is it worth to you not to be sick?
As you know, the price of produce is always on the rise. Have the confidence to know you're getting the best possible price for organically grown whole fruits and vegetables with Balance of Nature. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, the April 15th tax deadline has come and gone. And if you haven't filed your tax return this year, the past few years, or several years, or maybe you're just in debt to the IRS and don't know what to do or who to turn to, well, I want you to write down this name and number or save it on your phone. It's attorney Stephen Leahy, 312-664-6649. Stephen will help you. He's a friend of ours and a friend of AM 560's, and he's the host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard every Sunday afternoon here at 5 o'clock. You can trust Attorney Leahy to help solve your IRS problems. He's local. He can meet with you one-on-one. And if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, visit you at home or work, or take your passport, then you need to talk to the trusted attorney of AM 560, Attorney Stephen Leahy. Do it now. Call him right now, 312-664-6649. Attorney Leahy will solve your IRS problems for good. 312-664-6649, or visit chicagotaxteam.com. That's chicagotaxteam.com.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water, like our client from Mount Prospect.
We decided to refinish our basement and wanted to put in new flooring, but we've always had a seepage problem. I heard Chicagoland Waterproofing on the radio and had to call. Gus came to our home and identified the problem immediately, explained a solution which involved 60 feet of interior trenching along the foundation. His guys were on time, professional, and cleaned up when they were done. Our refinished basement is 100% dry. Dry as a bone. Great experience. In Gus, we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
It's been busy at the border. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There are new numbers out about apprehensions of immigrants at the border. Even so, the acting head of Homeland Security says separating families as part of a zero-tolerance policy just isn't worth it. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more from D.C.
Chris, Customs and Border Protection reporting 418,000 apprehensions so far this year. In 2018, there were around 404,000 for the entire year. Acting Homeland Security Secretary Kevin McAleenan told NBC News family separation is not on the table.
It did not work if you lose the public trust. If you can't maintain an initiative from an enforcement perspective, it's not worth it.
McAleenan said the 1997 Flores Agreement needs to be changed to allow families to be held together while awaiting immigration hearings. Chris?
Rachel, President Trump tweets about Supreme Court arguments heard yesterday. The American people deserve to know who is in this country. The justices are deciding whether the 2020 census can include a question about citizenship. Lower courts have ruled that question was added inappropriately. 8 people are hospitalized, hit by a car in Sunnyvale, California. Here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Chris, police say witnesses tell them the driver of a vehicle didn't even try to swerve or stop before hitting the pedestrians near a shopping center yesterday. At least 3 people were critically injured. A 13-year-old boy is among those hurt. Sunnyvale police captain Jim Choi told the San Francisco Chronicle the driver is in custody and could face charges of assault with a deadly weapon as part of an intentional act. No motive has been given, Chris.
Tanya, Sri Lanka's president has asked for the country's defense secretary and national police chief to resign over ignored warnings before Sunday's suicide bombings at churches and hotels. At least 359 people died. The Islamic State terrorist group has claimed responsibility. Sri Lankan officials blame a local separatist group. This is Fox News.
Skies are sunny, 43 degrees, 7:02 is our time on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A construction worker is hurt following a crash early this morning on the Kennedy Expressway near Rosemont. Mercedes rear-ended another construction vehicle in a construction zone. That construction vehicle then struck the worker. Boeing is pulling its 2019 forecast over its 737 MAX uncertainty and says this morning it's suspending stock buybacks. The aerospace giant based here in Chicago provided first quarter results that did beat Wall Street estimates. Investors and consumers are keeping a close eye on Boeing due to two deadly crashes involving the 737 MAX. The two crashes have damaged the company's reputation for safety and led to the grounding of 370 737 MAX airliners. No one is in custody following a deadly double shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police tell us the two men were shot last night sitting in a parked vehicle along West 57th Street. One of the victims died at the scene. A custody hearing involving the brother of a missing suburban Chicago boy and their parents has been continued. Joanne Cunningham and Andrew Friend are parents of the missing 5-year-old Andrew A.J. Friend. Both appeared in McHenry County Circuit Court yesterday. They're seeking custody of their 4-year-old son, Parker. There will be a public memorial held today for a young boy who died in a weekend boating accident in a Wakanda lake. The event honors 9-year-old Geraldo Rodriguez, who disappeared in Bangs Lake last Friday after falling off a paddle boat. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers. Orioles rout the White Sox in Baltimore 9-1. The news, a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Spring has sprung, and there's never been a better time to give your bedroom the makeover it so badly needs. Make your bed more comfortable and save some money in the process during the Boll & Branch Think Spring Sale. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch, makers of the world-famous ultra-soft sheets that are loved by 3 U.S. presidents and millions of Americans. You know our prices are always great, but right now, everything at BollandBranch.com is 20% off. I'll say it again, 20% off. That means our award-winning sheets start at just $160, and shipping is free. These are $1,000 sheets for less than a couple $100. And you can save on our towels, blankets, pillows, even our award-winning mattress. Don't miss this sale. We don't have them often. And remember, Mother's Day is just around the corner. The Think Spring Sale is ending soon, so get 20% off everything before it ends at BollandBranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com. BollandBranch.com.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Refinancing or purchasing a home does not need to be a daunting task. I guarantee you can have confidence when calling me at 312-896-2110 or going to Townstone.com that our only interest is getting you the best refinancing and purchase deal available and to make sure your transaction closes on time and without headaches. If you're a first-time home buyer, you don't need a large down payment. We have a 1% down payment program, and Townstone will hold your hand the entire way. If this is your second or third purchase or refinance, let Townstone compete for your business. We've been beating the big banks on interest rates and closing costs since 2002. So don't pay too much. Give me a call now at 312-896-2110. The call is free and so is my time. Lastly, have debt that you need to pay off? Let us help with a cash-out refinance. Remember, nobody beats Townstone. I guarantee it. And I own the company. So call us now at 312-896-2110. And don't forget to check out our weekly podcast at Townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe. Clean them out. Take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 27th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com.
7:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
On the Tri-State Tollway southbound, we're seeing delays from Deerfield Road to Lake Cook, where there's a crash blocking the right lane. Northbound traffic is jammed. Cicero to 47th, and it's heavy from Ogden to the Bensonville Bridge. But Adams Tollway traffic is tight, 59 to Higgins and Hoffman Estates. From Reagan Tollway delays are 83 to the Tri-State. Edens is 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 39 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 15 on the Express. Eisenhower, 52 minutes, 390 to downtown. 36 from Manheim. Stevenson is an hour and 3 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunshine will mix in with some clouds today, the high 63. Patchy clouds for tonight, low 49. Times of sun and clouds and a passing shower tomorrow, the high 70. Sunny, breezy on Friday, the high 65. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare, 43 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping you powered up no matter what the conditions.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The Asandario brothers announced yesterday a defamation suit against the lawyers for Jussie Smollett. I guess they're not going to get their workout routine back together. The two Nigerian-American brothers, of course, who have become infamous in Chicago and really internationally associated with the Jussie Smollett hoax. And the defamation suit alleges that Smollett's attorneys accused one of the brothers of engaging in homosexual acts with Jussie Smollett, which he denies, said it caused him distress. He was dating a girl at the time. In addition, he travels back to his, he's American, but he travels back to Nigerian descent.
Right.
He travels back to Nigeria, and engaging in homosexual acts, particularly if married, carries severe criminal penalties in Nigeria.
And especially death by stoning. And in the 16-page document, it said same-sex sexual activity is illegal in Nigeria, which can result in 14 years of imprisonment. If the accused is married, then the punishment is death by stoning. And they're also worried about their relatives who still live in Nigeria.
And on the other matter, they accused Glandian, one of Smollett's attorneys, of accusing the brothers of illegally trafficking in steroids, which is also a crime. So whether or not they're public figures, reckless disregard for the truth is a legal standard that applies to attorneys as well. And you would start accusing people of felonious conduct when you know it to be false, then you have defamation exposure. So I don't think this is a frivolous suit.
So the Asandario brothers have Gloria Schmidt, but they also have two other attorneys helping out.
There are numerous defamatory statements, and they're all alleged in the 16-page lawsuit.
There are consequences for the actions that Tina Glandian and Mark Garagos have taken. Today's suit enables us to make sure that those consequences are decided in a court of law, not on a cable news network.
And not to mention the defamation of Chicago and how Jussie Smollett and the brothers, I mean, it was a hoax. They thought it was a social media thing. They weren't really sure exactly what they were doing, according to the 16-page lawsuit. But it did give Chicago a black eye. It made us look like we were homophobic, we were racist, and my gosh, that we were a MAGA country.
My city, my police department, and my clients all deserve to have their reputations restored.
I mean, will this lawsuit help get their reputations restored?
Well, sure, I guess in part, potentially, depending on how the case is adjudicated. But the other, of course, thing that is exciting about it in some quarters, including at FOP, Kevin Graham weighing in, the president of Chicago FOP, is they're just like trying to find any way to have some court proceeding where the truth of what Jussie Smollett did is recorded, and the evidence has an opportunity to be presented. And I don't know that this will necessarily end up being the venue for it, but of course, hope springs eternal when you're trying to get to justice in Chicago, since it's so elusive.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Hey, Chicagoland, you deserve to love where you live. So why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Lake County Fairgrounds with free admission and free parking. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Speak with experts in interiors and exteriors, landscaping, flooring, painting, heating and air, pools and spas, and even solar and green energy systems. And don't miss the interactive display by Verizon and the latest by Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler. Enjoy live cooking shows, free seminars, and exciting demonstrations. And shop the huge plant sale by Gurnee Garden Center. You'll save big on quality outdoor and garden decor and find the perfect accessories to deck out your man cave. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Lake County Fairgrounds in Grays Lake with free admission and free parking. For details, visit LakeCountyHomeshow.com. That's LakeCountyHomeshow.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and 40 years at C-SPAN. Brian Lamb, C-SPAN's founder, and mentioned a bit earlier in the week that he is signing off. He gave an extended interview in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. It was really good, covered a lot of topics. He's got a lot to cover. I mean, I used to love his book notes program, and I know that stopped many years ago now, but he still had his Sunday interviews that he's done for 3 decades. Always great, interesting personalities, but he's a great interviewer, so I really appreciated his idea, the idea behind C-SPAN, and what he grew that idea into. And we're pleased to be joined by Brian Lamb, who is, of course, an American journalist, the founder, now retired CEO of C-SPAN, and he's got a new book with some colleagues, The Presidents. Noted historians rank America's best and worst chief executives. Goes through all 43 of them through 2017. So we'll have to do a follow-up to include Trump, I suppose. Brian Lamb, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan. I'm a big Answer listener here in Washington, and I love the fact that WIND is based in my home state, the antenna in Indiana.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Midwestern boy too. We got that in common. You're talented. I'm not. So that's where our that's where it diverges. But here, I want to go back to the beginning, and the idea for C-SPAN. Certainly, it was bigger than having politicians speak into empty chambers. What was the idea behind C-SPAN?
Well, it's kind of the idea behind Salem Broadcasting, if you think about it. It's giving an alternative view in a world at that time, 40 years ago, that had not many alternative views. And that doesn't mean exclusively of one side. And in the case of C-SPAN, we wanted to create an institution that would give you all sides at all times and not have a point of view, and that's where it started. And it started because of new technology called the satellite and cable.
Well, and then eventually you evolved to C-SPAN 2. When did that begin?
1986, because the Senate, after 7 years of watching the House get all the attention, decided it was time for them to go on TV.
Yeah,
So they have a choice.
Well, the interesting thing was, right, that they didn't like it. The politicians didn't like the idea at the outset, but they learned to like it because it was a profile raiser for them.
Yeah, in the case, I mean, the fellow that was the blockage or the blocker in the Senate was Senator Bob Byrd of West Virginia. And when he discovered that people thought in West Virginia that he was the Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill, it really bothered him because they looked somewhat alike. And he did. He told me that. And he said, this has to change. We've got to come into the 20th century at the time. And he pushed Russell Long of Louisiana, who was dead set against it, to step aside and not interfere, because one senator could have stopped it all.
It's just fascinating. As you step away, just reflect on the 40 years of how C-SPAN has changed with the times, both in terms of technology as well as D.C. political culture, to the extent you think the D.C. political culture has changed much during that time.
I think that, first of all, we were the Twitter of our time 40 years ago, and we're not now. I mean, it's changed dramatically. We are traditional. We've been here forever. Young people have no idea that we started, just 40 years ago. They think that we've been here from the beginning of time.
Sure. Used to watch Lincoln on C-SPAN.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. The best thing about today, and I go against the grain with a lot of people, is that anybody in our country can speak and be heard. And when we started, it had nothing to do with C-SPAN. It has, again, to do with the changing technology. And when you got the internet and Twitter and all this stuff, I don't happen to be on Twitter, but I think the fact that it's there is a tremendous asset to people being able to speak.
Wow. So now you have a staff of 260 and not a single makeup artist, correct?
I am one of the chief makeup artists here, yes.
Well, I mean, you look radiant all the time on C-SPAN. I mean, it's just a natural
Dan,
gift you have. Yes.
Oh, brother, yes.
So the model changing. Let's talk about the business model changing, because subscriptions have dipped. Subscribers have dipped a bit because of the move away from cable to streaming services. So contemplate C-SPAN in this new environment with streaming services and the debundling of cable.
We're good at the moment. You mentioned the article in Wall Street Journal. We showed that we've lost about 11 million subscribers probably in the last 5 to 6 years. We don't know how far that will go. And we clearly are spending a lot of time here looking to the future to figure out where's the money going to come from. And we, at the moment, rely entirely on people who run businesses. There's no taxpayer money in this place. And that's changing. And people that were here in the beginning and did it for all the right reasons are gone. So it's a new world for us, but we're optimistic that we can talk folks into staying with us.
And why are you leaving after 40 accomplished years? What is it now that made you decide, you know what, I'm going to retire?
Well, the odd thing about the article is I did not tell a very fine journalist, Kyle Peterson, that I was retiring. I just said that I was quitting my Sunday night show and stepping back, but I'm going to still do things. I'm 77. I still have the same energy I had when I was growing up in Lafayette and coming to Chicago and having a great time in Chicago learning the broadcast business. And I'll be in and around this place. I like to say I'm the commander-in-chief of the periphery. I'm guarding the periphery.
The Praetorian Guard. All right, very good. Now, what do you think about, the last decade or so, transparency has become a political watchword. And one of the ideas is that if you just sort of shine a light on it, if you hold it out in public view, that you'll get improvement in the quality of governance. Well, maybe. Do you think that C-SPAN has resulted in improving transparency, disclosure, the quality of governance in D.C.?
Probably not. I don't like that word. I don't know why. It just kind of takes on a fake sound to it. I've always liked the word to be openness. You know, politicians have learned how to not be transparent. They are very good at it. And the way they do it is just avoid being interviewed by certain people.
Yeah.
They go to their friends. I'll give you an example. All this smoke right now about the Trump tax returns, which are, I have no objection to that. I'd like to see his tax returns. The Congress only tells you that they are, you know, in their forms that they have to fill out, that they're, say, for instance, worth between $1 and $5 million. They don't, you know, it's again obfuscating, hiding behind these phony figures, and the town is really good at it. Really good at it.
Yeah, I think the way I've described it before is that they avoid transparency out in the open. And that's exactly what you're talking about. They set the rules of the game to give the appearance of transparency without actually being, to borrow your word, open or really being an acolyte of openness. I think that's exactly right. Where does C-SPAN go next in terms of programming? I mean, your Sunday night interviews were so good and so popular because not just the subjects, but the quality of the interviews and the full range of the spectrum, both in terms of walk of life as well as political disposition. So new programming that could be coming from C-SPAN that has the stickiness that Book Notes had or that your Sunday night interviews had.
Well, to start with, Susan Swain, who is our co-chief executive officer here, is going to take that slot on Sunday nights. She's every bit as good as anybody I've known, and I think that her interview style will allow us to continue to learn. We're looking at a number of things in the future, including something that I've always wanted to do, is a series on scandals, a series on congressional scandals over the years, and there have been so many of them that we won't have any difficulty doing a series on it, and that would be one thing that I'd like to be involved in.
Part of the nice historical perspective, including your new book, The Presidents, where you're ranking all the presidents of the United States up to 2017, up to Trump, is a historical perspective, which is often lost in our political conversation as well. Just given the backdrop of the Mueller report and the Russian collusion investigation, how do you provide some historical perspective or balance to this investigation, this special counsel, as you compare it to as you compare it to Lewinsky, as you compare it to Iran-Contra, as you compare it to Nixon? Is there anything new here except sort of the facts in the particular case?
Well, I worked in the Nixon administration 50 years ago, and I was young and didn't understand what was going on, and thought Nixon was doing the right thing until I read the transcripts. And when the transcripts came out in April of 1974, that was it for me. I didn't like the Oval Office conversations and all that stuff. And as I said before, learning over these years the amount of lying that goes on in government, it's been a downer. I come from a fairly honest town of Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue University, where I went to school. People weren't hiding things from you. And I moved out here very naive, and it's just gotten worse and worse. So I don't know that this particular Mueller report and all that's any different than anything else. It just happens to be the flavor of the day, and there is a deep dislike, personal dislike, on the part of most journalists in this town for the President of the United States. Now, it's not entirely their fault, because he has stoked that fire for the last 3 years, but people have lined up on either side of the street, and they're firing the guns. So it's going to be interesting to watch, and all we do is put a camera in front of it and let you decide for yourself.
All right. He is Brian Lamb. It's always going to be interesting to watch C-SPAN. Look forward to Susan Swain backfilling him for those Sunday night interviews. The book is The Presidents. Noted historians rank America's best and worst chief executives. Brian Lamb, founder of C-SPAN, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate all that you've done over the last 40 years.
Dan and Amy, thank you for having me on, and keep Chicago going.
We'll try. Not easy. Thanks, Brian.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I was having a lot of pain in my right hip, and it was causing my leg to be numb below my knee from the hip all the way down. I wasn't getting any sleep. So on top of it, I'm tired, I'm sleep deprived because I'm in pain and I'm not sleeping. So I decided to start taking these things, and the pain is gone virtually. I mean, at 90%, maybe 95%. It was just amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Showers, yes. They're going to be popping up sporadically throughout spring and summer. And is your sump pump ready? Don't forget that battery backup. It's important stuff, and just as important is who you contact for help. And that, of course, would be Permaseal. If you have a sump pump, it needs to be checked to make sure it's working properly. A battery backup is your safeguard in the event of a pump failure or power outage. And remember that all sump pumps fail. It's not a matter of if, but when. Independent lab results show that Permaseal battery backup systems are your best value in backup sump pump protection. Permaseal was founded in 1979, and they've protected 400,000 homes all over the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana areas. So get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement or crawl space. Call 800-421-SEAL to schedule your free, no-obligation inspection. Again, if you're concerned about your sump pump system, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or go to permaseal.net.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to our friend Steve Moore about de Blasio's NYC GND. And we'll also ask Steve, who's an Illinois native, what he thinks about male castration and sperm taxation as proposed by one state legislator here at 7:37.
And later, police have found and have arrested that puppy dumper. We'll explain. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Sunshine, blue skies, 44 degrees. On AM 560, The Answer, the U.S. military and FBI officials are in Sri Lanka this morning. They're beginning to assist with the investigation into Sunday's deadly bomb attacks. Over 350 were killed in the suicide bombings at luxury hotels and Christian churches on Easter Sunday. Mexico is arresting hundreds of Central American illegal immigrants headed north toward the U.S. More than 360 in a caravan did not get far before Mexican authorities arrested the migrants this week. It's the biggest raid on a migrant caravan since in Mexico since the groups from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador started moving through the country. The Supreme Court is considering a challenge to citizenship questions on the U.S. Census. New York Democrat Attorney General Letitia James says she will continue to fight to have the question removed.
Adding that particular citizenship question could lead to the undercounting in communities across America, particularly in immigrant communities and Hispanic communities. It would mean that communities entitled to resources wouldn't get those resources.
However, during oral arguments yesterday, the court's conservative majority seemed inclined to allow the question on the census. Beginning this summer, retailer Kohl's will begin accepting returns of purchases made on Amazon. Customers will be able to return eligible items without a box or label beginning in July. Here in Chicago, a construction worker is hurt following a crash on the Kennedy Expressway near Rosemont. It happened in a construction zone near the Cumberland exit this morning. No one is in custody following a deadly double shooting outside Sherwood Elementary School on Chicago's South Side. One of the victims died at the scene, the other hospitalized in stable condition. 4 adults and 2 children severely hurt after a crash on Chicago's west side. Chicago police tells us officers were trying to pull over a silver sedan last night for a minor violation on Congress Parkway when the driver lost control and slammed into a truck. 3 people inside that sedan tried to run away. They were later arrested. Illinois State Police brass looking to rebuild after losing 20% of its force. Governor Pritzker has proposed over $7 million be earmarked to train 2 new trooper cadet classes at the police academy. Acting Director of the State Police, Brendan Kelly, says he'll consider a proposal that does away with 4-year college degree requirements for recruits, instead requiring them to obtain an associate's degree. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers at Wrigley Field. Orioles 4 home runs in a 9-1 rout of the White Sox in Baltimore. The news is a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard and you know what it takes to succeed. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. 7:33, it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher can see right through the mainstream media.
The president called these MS-13 gang members animals, and this gets morphed into the president calls migrants animals, and it's fake news. And of course, if the mainstream media wasn't so corrupt, there'd be a clarification from them saying, wait a minute, that's not what the president said.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Ace Buy One Get One Free sale, now through Monday only. Don't miss out on all our great deals throughout the store. Save on top brands like Scott's and Ortho. Plus, get deals on other products you'll need this spring, like birdseed, spray paint, light bulbs, and more. With so many great Buy One Get One Free deals, you can't afford to miss it. So hurry in. The Ace Buy One Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Hi, my name's Ken, and I own Good Start Packaging in Bedford, New Hampshire. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. And last year, that added up to $36,000 in cash back. That's right, $36,000. Thanks to that, I was able to offer health care to my employees. The Spark Cash Card did a lot for my business. Imagine what it could do for yours. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers paid for real stories. Credit approval required.
7:35. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Pat Kennedy, traffic's heavy. Harlem to the Burn Circle. It's a 56-minute drive from O'Hare to downtown. 30 minutes from Montrose. 25 on the Express. How about 44 minutes to the airport? 8 to 24 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. Eisenhower. 58 minutes, 390 to downtown. 40 from Manheim. Outbound 51 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 9 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, 90 to the merge, Bishop 425. Southbound Tri-State, there's a jam, 176 to Lake Cook. All lanes have opened after a collision. Northbound, it's heavy, 115th and Ridgeland, the 83rd Street toll, and 75th to North Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine mixes with some clouds, a high of 63, patchy clouds, and 46 overnight, 44 at O'Hare. Next news comes your way at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. It is Earth Day week, which I guess is now Earth Week, trying to get more people to pay attention. It's not working.
Earth Day week?
Sure, why not?
Well, you got my Hallmark card for Earth Day, right?
Yeah.
Good morning, sunshine.
Billy de Blasio, the Sandinistan mayor of New York City, has an NYC GND. Oh,
Okay.
You banning airline travel? Deindustrializing America? Big whoop, AOC.
Oh, she got bigfooted by Bill de Blasio?
I'll see you're returning America to pre-industrial revolution, and I'll raise you taking down all New York City skyscrapers. How about that?
What?
We're actually making the Green New Deal come alive here in New York City. So we have our own Green New Deal. It's 3 very basic ideas. One, the biggest source of emissions in New York City is buildings. We're putting clear, strong mandates, the first of any major city on the earth, to say to building owners, you got to clean up your act, you got to retrofit, you got to save energy. If you don't do it by 2030, there will be serious fines as high as $1 million or more for the biggest buildings. And this mandate is going to guarantee that we reduce emissions. We're going to ban the classic glass and steel skyscrapers, which are incredibly inefficient. If someone wants to build one of those things, they can take a whole lot of steps to make it energy efficient, but we're not going to allow what we used to see in the past. And the city of New York, the government, which uses about as much energy in a year as do the people and the businesses of the state of Vermont, we are going to get all of our energy from renewable sources in the next 5 years.
Oh, well, that's not no steel for skyscrapers. Yeah, that sounds like a safe option.
Glass and steel.
Glass or steel. Yeah.
It starts with the big gulp and inevitably leads to glass and steel, at least in that land of nitwittery.
And they're going to be all renewable energy in 5 years. Oh.
So it literally is going to be Trump at Trump Tower saying, "Darling, is the wind blowing? I'd like to watch some TV." For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, chief economist for CNN, Trump nominee for the Fed Board of Governors. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Hi, good morning, guys. By the way, who was that? I caught the tail end of that clip. Who was that speaking?
That was de Blasio talking about how there going to be no glass and steel skyscrapers.
I should have known. By the way, you might want to, you folks in Chicago might want to tell him that, when you had your polar vortex, when was that? Back in February in Chicago, when it was like a month below zero, the wind and solar panels froze.
Well,
so if you had 100% reliance on renewable energy, thousands and thousands and thousands of people would have died from that freeze because they wouldn't have had heat in their home and they wouldn't have had electricity. So it's a very dangerous thing, just as a practical matter to go anywhere near like 50, 70, whatever. Did you say 100%? 100% renewable?
Yes, in 5 years.
Look, not to mention banning all steel and glass skyscrapers. Look, here's the thing about your concern about people dying in the winter in New York or Chicago. Look, we're going to break some eggs, Steve. We're going to break some eggs when it comes to deindustrializing America. This is not going to be easy, but we've only got 12 years.
Well, that's true. I mean, the clock is ticking. The thing that's really ridiculous about this, and thank you for mentioning my book called Fueling Freedom, where I talk about the whole shale revolution, which really transformed our economy. If it had not been for the shale oil and gas revolution, folks, there would have been no Obama recovery whatsoever. It was all driven by the shale revolution. We are now the number one oil and gas producer in the world. Great editorial yesterday in the Wall Street Journal pointing out that, because of the sanctions on Iran, that has raised the price of oil because the only thing that Iran produces is oil. And they made the great point that because of the shale oil and gas revolution and the fact that we're producing so much oil in states like North Dakota and Texas and Oklahoma, and so much gas in places like Ohio and Pennsylvania, West Virginia, that we don't need Middle East oil anymore. We can be completely independent of the Middle Eastern, OPEC countries. And they made the point that's a great thing for our economy, but also for our national security. So at the very time we have this abundance of oil and gas, I think these crazies on the left are saying, let's not use it. Let's not use our oil and gas. Let's get it from the Middle East.
That's crazy. Yesterday was a banner day. I mean, stocks would continue to rally from their December lows. And
yeah, baby.
I know. So what did you do to celebrate?
The Trumponomics just keeps rolling on, Amy. I told you this was going to happen. I mean, it's an interesting story on the economy because remember back in late last year and early this year, the economy seemed to be faltering. I was getting a little bit nervous. And by the way, I was the one, I want to, if I may, on the Dan and Amy show, pat myself on the back for a minute. I was the one when the Fed raised its interest rates in December. You remember that was about a week before Christmas. The stock market crashed.
Yes.
While Jerome Powell was speaking, the Dow fell 700 points and fell by 2,500 points in a week. And I was the one who said this is one of the stupidest acts the Fed has ever, done. And a week after Christmas, they put their tail between their legs, admitted they were wrong and that I was right. And ever since then, the Fed kind of retracted its decision to raise rates in December, the economy's been on a nice tear. And my feeling right now is the economy's back in a big way. I mean, I think we're actually headed right back to 3% growth. We've got full employment. My favorite number, guys, 7.1 million. Do you know what that is?
The number of unfilled jobs.
7.1 million is the number of surplus jobs we have in this country today. That is 7.1 million unfilled jobs. That's more jobs than the entire population of the state of Indiana. Now, according to the latest Bureau of Labor Statistics unemployment report, there's 6 million unemployed people. So I'm not that good at math, but I think I can figure this out. That means that if we put every single one of the Americans looking for a job, all 6 million of them in a job, we'd still have 1 million jobs left over. That's how strong this economy is today.
Well, all of that patting yourself on the back is going to make for a lonely lunchroom when you get confirmed to be a member of the Fed Board of Governors. But on that topic, how are you liking the public proctological exam you're undergoing?
Oh my gosh! I never thought that this was going to happen. I mean, who pays attention? I asked a reporter the other day who's covered the Fed for 30 years, have you ever seen anything like this? And he said, never, ever, anything like this. I mean, this is the Kavanaugh treatment. They're trying to take me down. They're literally interviewing people that I knew in high school. Oh, any of you, my friends in New Trier, are listening to this, you may be getting a call from the New York Times or the Washington Post. I mean, it's really the most amazing thing. And I got to tell you, I did go to a Catholic school, Amy, but I'm no altar boy,
Right. No,
I'm no altar boy.
Steve Moore, bad boy of the Fed.
But here's my thing. Look, I am willing, Dan and Amy, to talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere, whether it's Paul Krugman, the entire economics faculty at the New York Times, the Washington Post editorial page, anyone about the economy, about how you make an economy grow. I'm very proud of the fact I work with Trump. We've got this economy moving big time, as we were just talking about. But this hasn't been about it. I mean, the whole media attacks against me, because they know they can't go after me on my economics, has all been about my personal life. And that, I think, has been below the belt. It's been scurrilous. It's been slimy, but that's the way and look, again, I'm not playing the innocent victim here because I have said things and done things over my life I wish I hadn't done. I am not an altar boy. But this idea that, it's all character assassination, they don't want to talk about the economy. They don't want to talk about my ideas, and it's frustrating. And I don't know what else to say. I will say this. I was in Chicago last week, guys, for a Freedom Works event with activists, and everyone, there must have been 250 people there. We were in Wheaton. And I got to tell you, every single person came up to me and said, I listen to Dan and Amy every morning, and I love your segment every Wednesday. So you guys, I had no idea you guys were so famous.
They better in Wheaton. That's my hometown. Otherwise, the heads are going to roll.
They love you. They love you in Wheaton.
Well, let me ask you this, Steve. By the way, I think I'm supposed to be
What?
interviewing you at a Heartland Institute event next month. You're coming back to Chicago for a Heartland Institute event at like the end of May, and I'm going to interview you.
For Trumponomics.
Yeah, and I'm going to interview you. We're going to talk about every word you've ever written and every cross word you've ever said to everybody.
And every joke you've ever made that might have been taken out of
Yeah,
context.
that's the problem. When they start going into the jokes, I'm in big trouble because I'm very politically incorrect. I admit it. I'm guilty as charged.
The only thing you're more renowned for than your economic theory is your stand-up routine. I mean, you are a funny guy. Is your stand-up routine?
Exactly.
You work blue. You know, it's all right. But let me ask you.
It's going to be because they're going to start looking at literally. I mean, I was on CNN a couple of weeks ago, and they had pulled this tape from something I had said like literally 25 or 30 years ago, and my hair was black back then. I have gray hair now. That's how old that tape was. It was some kind of old YouTube video that they dug up, and it is like a what did you call it?
Proctological exam. Yeah. Well,
it is. It's more like getting the way I describe it is like getting a colonoscopy every day.
Yeah, so you sent the word out to your friends at Nutrier from 40 years ago, but should we be worried about any Republican senators? They ended Herman Cain's prospects of being confirmed, Republican senators who openly said they would not support him. Are any Republican senators wavering on you as far as you know?
Well, let me say something about it because I think it's an important point. And my view is, look, this is a Federal Reserve Board position. It's important, but it's not. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be the chairman, although I think that's what terrifies the idea at some point Trump would want to make me the chairman. But look, I don't want to make this a hard vote for senators who are up for re-election. I mean, my goodness. I mean, you've got people like, Susan Collins and Arthur McSally in Arizona who are up for re-election.
Not Mitt Romney.
Critical. The point is, if it's about the economy and about my economic ideas, I don't think there's any doubt that I would be confirmed with every Republican and hopefully some Democrats. But again, it's a question of, well, he doesn't like women, he doesn't like this group, he doesn't like that group, he said this 20, 30 years ago. And, if it becomes a really tough vote for these Republicans where they can't, they would put their seat in jeopardy. No, I don't want to do that. I would not subject those senators to that. And so we'll see how this goes forward, but I'm not dropping out, I'll tell you that. I mean, the White House has been very supportive.
Good.
And, anytime that when we come to, when is that, by the way, that I'm coming there? Is it May?
May 23rd or so. Yeah, you better make sure it's on your
check
schedule.
Your schedule.
Yeah, for goodness sake.
So,
but let's talk about the economy, okay? Let's talk about Trumponomics. Let's not talk about whether I pulled that girl's ponytail in the 7th grade, which I did do. But Amy, I was just trying to get her attention. That's all I was trying to do.
No, sure. I know. With youthful indiscretion.
He's all hopped up on testosterone.
But your guy Herman Cain. I mean, I know they're trying to relitigate his past behavior, which I don't care about that. I don't want to hear about it. It's over. What was your reaction when you heard he took himself out of the running?
I love Herman Cain. I mean, I've been such a huge fan of his. I helped him on the 999. Remember 999?
999. And the double-breasted suits, which you should wear in his honor to your confirmation hearing. Wait, wear a double-breasted suit in honor of Herman Cain to your confirmation hearing.
And maybe a cowboy hat.
Well, I love Herman, and I was very sorry to see him, withdraw. But, he made the point he might be more effective on the outside than in the halls of the Federal Reserve. And but I respect the guy. I think he's an amazing American. And I was sorry to see him have to withdraw because he would have been a great asset for the country.
All right, one more economics question since that's your forte. Tariffs. Where are we with a China trade deal?
Gosh, it's been a while since there's been a lot of news on that. I mean, it's proceeding. I think I'm going to put the odds at 70% that Trump gets a trade deal with China. I think he's doing the right thing. He's taking a very hardline position with the Chinese, which is increasingly necessary. I mean, every other day you open up the newspaper and you see more signs of, the Chinese and the Beijing government being involved in cyber terrorism against the United States and hacking into our computer systems and stealing our technologies. So Trump has got to get a win here, and I'm going to predict to you that he will get a win. But it's taking a while because you can't trust the Chinese. They don't. The Chinese government says one thing one day, they do something entirely different the next, and that's been frustrating. But it will get done before the election.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, chief economist for CNN, future member of the Fed Board of Governors. Steve, thanks as always for joining us. We'll see you next month and, well, next week on this show.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to MyPillow and, of course, the MyPillow mattress topper. 3 layers of incredible foam and padding that will relieve pressure points, and there's a temperature control pad on tops that'll keep you cool all night, and you can also throw it in the washer and dryer if it gets dirty. And right now, when you get your mattress topper, you'll get 30% off plus free 2 standard MyPillows. Wow. Again, it helps relieve pressure points, and that ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover, washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save lots of money. Save 30% on your MyPillow mattress topper when you use promo code Amy. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I've got arthritis, but I take it every day. I've taken it, and my health has improved. So, of course, I love it. My energy level got raised, less pain in my body. So I think it's helped me tremendously. I've talked with a lot of people about the fruits and veggies. They say, "Well, how come you're feeling so good?" And I tell them, call 800-2468-751. See for yourself.
As you know, the price of produce is always on the rise. Have the confidence to know you're getting the best possible price for organically grown whole fruits and vegetables with Balance of Nature. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Looking to secure refinancing on a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Chuck, Marine veteran, has heard thousands of Team Hochberg ads, so naturally he called them with his VA mortgage questions. Wrong. Chuck first contacted another radio lender who blew him off after learning he was credit challenged. So Chuck contacted Team Hochberg, which he should have done in the first place, and Team Hochberg introduced Chuck to their credit enhancement expert, Gary Novell, who will help Chuck enhance his credit so Team Hochberg can help him secure a VA loan. Best part, Team Hochberg will issue Chuck a closing cost credit to offset the investment he made in himself to enhance his credit. Now, if you're a veteran and would like to work with a trusted local lender who respects your service and won't blow you off, even if you're credit challenged, then call Team Hochberg now. 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners. But guess what? They can't help you if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
Is your parking lot an eyesore for you and your customers? Convenient and safe parking may be one of the most overlooked aspects of your business. You've neglected your parking lot for way too many years. It's falling apart and could be scaring business away. Pavement Solutions knows your parking lot takes a beating. With proper care, you can extend the life of your current lot with Pavement Solutions certified specialty blend called Gem Seal Black Diamond and Duramax. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's the best seal coat product in the industry. It'll protect your lot from sub-zero temperatures to a scorching 110-degree day and features an abrasive, non-slip coat for safety and durability. With Enduramax, your lot will have that brand new feel and look at a fraction of the price of a new lot. You and your customers will be safe, and your business will look great. Call Pavement Solutions at 815-675-0696. That's 815-675-0696. And learn about getting 5% off and a free estimate for your next project. 815-675-0696.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
This is 60 Seconds of Sanity with Dan Proft. The timer starts now.
Christianity under attack? ? Sri Lanka church bombings stroke far-right anger in the West. That was the headline in the Washington Post the day after the world learned the Easter Sunday church bombers were radical Islamist terrorists. It seems the Post isn't sure if Christianity is under attack, but it is sure only the far right is upset about the massacre of quote-unquote Easter worshippers, as they term them. Historically, the left has used perceived persecution to accrue power, so they're reticent to have Christians benefit from actual persecution. Thus, they use the label Easter worshippers as if it's a spring festival of sorts. This is how identity politics works, and it is at work in the coverage of the slaughter of Christian innocents. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and leading Democrats all used Easter worshippers language, generating much-deserved pushback. No atrocity is so great as to prevent the left's pursuit of power. And that's 60 Seconds of Sanity. You deal with it.
Coming.
And we're still waiting for your 60 seconds of insanity.
No, 10 seconds of crazy. That's coming up. And also coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to Julie Kelly, senior contributor for amgreatness.com. She has a perspective on the Mueller report she'll share with us at 8:08.
And Kim Foxx recuses herself, allegedly, again. We'll explain why. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Overdoses leave 2 dead and a dozen more hospitalized in Chicago. Cubs cruise past the Dodgers. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
No high crimes and misdemeanors. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. No crimes at all, says President Trump, as some House Democrats press for his impeachment. At the White House Live, here's Fox's John Decker.
President Trump tweeting, "If the partisan Dems ever tried to impeach, I would first head to the U.S. Supreme Court." The tweet coming a day after the president told the Washington Post that he is opposed to current and former White House aides providing testimony to congressional panels. The president not giving a legal rationale for rebuffing Congress, telling the Post that complying with congressional requests was unnecessary after the White House cooperated with special counsel Robert Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation. The president's position moving Congress and the White House closer to a constitutional collision in federal court. Chris?
John Decker at the White House. Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton, one of the Democrats' presidential candidates, says about impeachment there should be hearings.
I don't think the time is now for a vote because we still don't even have all the evidence. We still don't have the full Mueller report, for example. But we should have started this debate a while ago, and that's why I called for it last year.
Congressman Moulton at a Politics and Eggs breakfast event in New Hampshire. Sri Lanka's defense minister and national police chief are asked to resign over missed warnings before Sunday's bombings at churches and hotels. At least 359 people died.
Sri Lanka's junior defense minister saying 9 suicide bombers carried out Sunday's attacks.
Most of them are well educated
and come from maybe middle or upper middle class.
Ruan Vijayawardena saying at least one had a law degree and some may have studied in the UK and Australia.
Fox's Simon Owen. Boeing reports first quarter earnings in line with expectations, but it's pulling predictions for the rest of the year off the table and suspending stock buybacks because of problems with its 737 MAX jets. They're grounded after 2 crashes. This is Fox News.
Sunshine, blue skies, 45 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A construction worker is badly hurt following a crash on the Kennedy Expressway near Rosemont. State police tell us a silver Mercedes veered into a construction zone early this morning near the Cumberland exit. The Mercedes then rear-ended a construction vehicle, which then hit the worker. An investigation continues after 2 died and over a dozen more were hospitalized in a series of drug overdoses in Chicago. Authorities say Anthony Shanks was found dead of an apparent overdose yesterday morning in the 600 block of North Holman. The body of another possible victim was found in the 5300 block of Northeast River Road. Multiple overdoses were reported in the area near Chicago and Holman Avenues. But at the same time, drugs were being sold out of a silver-colored SUV in the area. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul wants lawmakers to tighten up the rules for those who go door-to-door to try to sell new power suppliers. Raoul told reporters yesterday that many times people are sold an alternative energy company that costs more. He says the sales pitches make it seem as if people can save hundreds when in reality they never see the savings. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers at Wrigley Field. Orioles with 4 home runs and a 9-1 rout of the White Sox in Baltimore. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Boeing is reporting a weaker quarter and admits lower deliveries of 737 jets are having an impact on its business, though it was partially offset by defense business and providing services. Its numbers are not a surprise to Wall Street. The company was planning to buy back stock, but it's instead putting those plans on hold. Boeing also is holding off on predicting business for this year because the 737 MAX jets are still grounded. Caterpillar is reporting better than expected earnings. AT&T is reporting a disappointing start to the year. It acquired Time Warner Inc. last June. Earnings for its first quarter are weaker than a year ago and matched predictions from Wall Street analysts. Occidental Petroleum is offering to buy Anadarko Petroleum. The offer is more than Chevron is offering for Anadarko. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It is 8:04. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat.
The Joe Walsh Show.
I am a freedom-loving, limited government-believing libertarian. I'm a Tea Party conservative. I believe in freedom and a government that stays the hell out of my life. And I got to tell you something, that's not the Republican Party and that's not the Democrat Party. I want government to leave me the hell alone. You tell me what party advocates that.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
Spring has sprung, and there's never been a better time to give your bedroom the makeover it so badly needs. Make your bed more comfortable and save some money in the process during the Boll & Branch Think Spring Sale. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch, makers of the world-famous ultra-soft sheets that are loved by 3 U.S. presidents and millions of Americans. You know our prices are always great, but right now, everything at bollandbranch.com is 20% off. I'll say it again, 20% off. That means our award-winning sheets start at just $160, and shipping is free. These are $1,000 sheets for less than a couple $100. And you can save on our towels, blankets, pillows, even our award-winning mattress. Don't miss this sale. We don't have them often. And remember, Mother's Day is just around the corner. The Think Spring Sale is ending soon, so get 20% off everything before it ends at bollandbranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com. bollandbranch.com.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Southbound Tri-State traffic is jammed. 120 to Lake Cook after a crash. It's also heavy farther south, 190 to the Irving Park Toll. The northbound delays are from Cicero Avenue all the way up to North Avenue. But Adams Tollway heavy 31 to Higgins and Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State. Regan Tollway from the Aurora Toll to Eola, Naperville to 355, the Myers Toll to the Tri-State. The northbound Veterans Memorial from the Des Plaines River Bridge most to Roosevelt after the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower an hour and 6 minutes from 390. Stevenson an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan 38 minutes from 95th. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A mix of sun and clouds today, our high 63. Some patchy clouds tonight, low 49. Times of sun and clouds and a passing shower tomorrow afternoon, the high 70. Sunny, breezy day on Friday with a high 65. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 45, next news 8:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Nancy Pelosi opining on impeachment at the Time 100, Time Magazine 100 conference yesterday. She said, look, I'm going to boil it down and then we'll hear from her. But you have to try to interpret what she's saying. Basically, she said, impeachment is a political question and the answer should in no way be political. See if you can wrap your mind around that.
Okay.
Impeachment is one of the most divisive forces, paths that we could go down to in our country. But if the path of fact-finding takes us there, we have no choice. But we're not there yet. And as I've said in my letter, I said to my members, I say to you, as I said earlier, there are many ways to hold the president accountable. The Congress, the Justice Department may have not decided to use its full power to impeach, to indict. Congress will not be silent in terms of using our constitutional power to find the facts for the American people. But as I said, impeachment is a step that you have to take with this, bringing the American people with you.
Right, meaning persuading them politically, but
we shouldn't impeach for a political reason, and we shouldn't not impeach for a political reason.
It's just...
My head hurts when I listen to her. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Julie Kelly. She is a senior contributor to American Greatness, amgreatness.com, and she is also, like us, a long-suffering resident of Illinois. Julie, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, it's not easy to listen to. So you have a piece at amgreatness.com where you're talking about unredactions, But you're talking about a whole raft of documents well beyond the Mueller report. Explain.
Well, look, I find myself in the odd position of agreeing with House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler, who wants the full Mueller report unredacted, all of the underlying documents to support the Mueller report, and to have the special counsel, Robert Mueller, testify before his committee next month. I completely agree with all of that, not for the same reasons, but I think that it's a good move for the American public. At the same time, there are several documents in addition to the Mueller report that should be immediately released and unredacted. And that would start with, obviously, the FISA application on Carter Page, which is still under heavy redactions. It includes the intelligence community report that was issued a few weeks before Donald Trump was inaugurated in January 2017 that alleged that Russian interference was designed to hurt Hillary Clinton and help Donald Trump. A lot of that is still classified for some reason. The scope memo that Rod Rosenstein signed in August 2017, expanding Robert Mueller's investigatory powers. So there are several documents that the American public deserves to see fully unredacted and to see why this whole hoax began, who started it, and the evidence that they used to support it.
Well, okay, but Jerry Nadler 2019 doesn't agree with Jerry Nadler 1998 when it comes to redactions. And so is what you're suggesting here a little bit of a political quid pro quo? Go ahead, you unredact the Mueller report, but you have to give us unredacted versions of all these other documents, too.
Exactly, Dan. You know, we've been told, and you guys have been following this closely, we've been told that the investigation that started in July of 2016 into the Trump campaign started because George Papadopoulos had some drunken encounter with the Australian diplomat in London and alleged that he had information that the Russians had dirt on Hillary Clinton. That was the excuse we've been told. We've been assured that the Steele dossier, which we know is nothing but political propaganda filled with things that still are unverified and probably false, that the dossier had nothing to do with why James Comey started this investigation into the Trump campaign. We need to see the initializing documents that the FBI used to start that counterintelligence probe, because it wasn't George Papadopoulos who was only investigated by the FBI in July 2016. It was 3 other members of the campaign who just happened to be mentioned in the dossier. So we've been told for the past few years the dossier had nothing to do with this investigation. We know that the dossier is bunk. We need to see if that's true or not, because I suspect that it's not.
Well, and what do you think? I mean, if you want to investigate the investigators, how do you feel about, President Trump not wanting current aides to testify before Congress, that he's urging them not to do it?
Well, it depends on who the aides are. I mean, most of these aides have not only been investigated by the House and by the Senate committees who've been investigating this, but also most of them have been questioned by Robert Mueller. So I'm not sure exactly what else they're trying to find. Here's the thing, though, Amy. The House Intelligence Committee asked last year, before it was flipped over to control by the Democrats, about 50 transcripts of testimony given by a variety of people, including Trump's family members and associates. The Justice Department has not yet released those transcripts. So I'd like to see those transcripts first and then determine, whether we need to interrogate these people anymore.
I want to see all those documents as well. But with the issue of redaction, just going back to that one more matter, I mean, you do have federal statute that limits what the Attorney General can publicly disclose, for example, grand jury proceedings. I mean, that should be redacted, shouldn't it? I mean, some of the other stuff are judgment calls, but that's statutory.
That's true. And there are several references to grand jury testimony in the Mueller report, but there's also vague references to harm to ongoing matter.
Right.
And that is probably less clear. But look, Dan and Amy, these are the same people who just 2 years ago were demanding that Devin Nunes not only step down as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, but he should step away from the committee and resign totally, because they were fighting the release of his memo from February 2018 that laid out all the FISA abuse from James Comey's FBI. So it's funny how you don't even have to go back to Clinton impeachment. You can go back a year ago to the same people who were fighting the Nunes memo, the same people who were fighting the release of the Page FISA application, now all of a sudden are for truth and transparency. So, if we're gonna vet everything, let's put everything out on the table that we possibly can.
I like also in your article that you mentioned that you want a list of journalists who are in cahoots with FBI agents. Who do you think that might be?
I think that there are reporters, particularly who started at the Wall Street Journal, who Glenn Simpson used to work at the Wall Street Journal. He has a whole, cabal of friends who are journalists. Some of them now are at the Washington Post. So there are 4 or 5 journalists at least who have been identified in a lawsuit against Fusion GPS. But look, last year, the Justice Department Inspector General identified several journalists who were giving gifts, free tickets, taking them out to dinner, improperly giving free gifts to journalists in return for scoops that the FBI agents would give these journalists scoops, and which includes classified information. Divulging classified information to the media is a felony. So let's say whoever the reporter was who leaked the information about the FISA warrant on Carter Page committed a felony punishable up to 10 years in prison. We don't have there is not one DOJ or FBI official who has been identified for leaking felonious material to the media. We need to know who those people are. And look, going through the Mueller report, Robert Mueller cites many articles, including articles that were sourced with classified information. He also did not charge anyone at the FBI for leaking classified information. So if we're going to charge someone like George Papadopoulos for lying about a date that he got wrong and putting him in jail for a week, why aren't we outing these FBI officials who did real damage to the American public and to innocent people?
Well, right. I mean, otherwise we're relying on Judicial Watch, which obtained through discovery and a deposition of a former assistant director of the FBI's counterintelligence division, a list of people who had access to Hillary Clinton email repositories that were being sought, including former Clinton aide, Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills, and so many others. Her IT staffer, Brian Pagliano, whose name we heard during the whole private server flap. And what Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch, said in a statement, no wonder Hillary Clinton has thus far skated. Barack Obama is implicated in her email scheme as it pertains to classified information. And this goes to something that Holman Jenkins writes about and asks in his piece in the Journal. A few hundred officials with security clearances know the truth behind James Comey's serial interventions in the Hillary Clinton email case. Interventions that began belatedly from press leaks and with some kind of intercepted Russian intelligence that someone placed in Comey's hands. The questions raised by these episodes are monumental and will outlast the war over whether Trump is a nice man or not. Did Comey and his colleagues turn us into Russia, where the intelligence services secretly and incompetently pull the strings of domestic politics? That's one of the big questions, it seems, we don't have an answer to without the documents you're suggesting and a lot more questions being asked about 2016.
That's absolutely right. And I mean, I think this was part of the investigation into the Trump campaign, was to obscure what had happened with the Clinton email investigation and other investigations that were ongoing, including into the Clinton Foundation. So yes, we need all the information that we can possibly get. There continues to be this drip of information about the Clinton email investigation. But Dan, you just hit on it. People have to remember what all of this fog is about. This is about protecting Barack Obama and his White House, because not one reporter has confronted Barack Obama and asked him what he knew, what his close advisors knew, what Vice President Joe Biden knew about this investigation. No one has confronted anyone in the Obama White House with these questions. We do know that Joe Biden was involved in secret meetings with John Brennan in the summer of 2016 in the fall of 2016 before the election, where Brennan was probably presenting the dossier as legitimate intelligence and justifying this investigation into the Trump campaign. So we have these journalists running around chasing ridiculous stories or, illegally leaking classified information, but no one has asked Barack Obama or Joe Biden what they know about this. This is all part of the cover-up for protecting the Obama White House, which we saw for 8 years when he was president, and we're still seeing 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. She is Julie Kelly, senior contributor for American Greatness, amgreatness.com. Her latest column, check it out there. Unredact all of it. Julie, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
She joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America now to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Call 800-375-8900, 800-375-8900. That's 800-375-8900.
With summer fast approaching, now is the time to fill your son's schedule with athletics, STEM, and academic enrichment camps from Northridge Prep summer programs for boys in grades 6 through 8. For the week of July 29 to August 2nd, drop your son off at 9, pick him up at 3 for a full day of fun and new skills. In the morning, investments in personal finance led by 2 entrepreneurial Northridge seniors and small business owners. This camp will teach your son to manage his money and grow it into business opportunities, charitable giving, or whatever project he can dream up. In the afternoon, Guitar 101. It's an intro to the skills your son will need to play any genre, including rock, blues, classical, and more. This camp aims to instill a love of music in your son. All skill levels are welcome. Seats are limited for all camps. Some, like the Dangerous Camp for Boys, are already 100% filled up. So learn more and then register online at northridgeprep.org/summer. That's northridgeprep.org/summer.
It's clear that taxes will likely be higher in the future. So how do you help protect yourself from rising taxes? Join Jack Tabota from the Financial Planning with Jack Tabota show right here from News Radio AM 560 The Answer for their Tax Freedom Summit webinar. During this live webinar, you are going to learn how required minimum distributions could potentially push you into a higher tax bracket, causing up to 85% of your Social Security benefits to be taxed. Also, how to help protect your Medicare premiums from a stealth tax that most never see coming. How families are taking Social Security benefits early for potentially more money in retirement. Join the Financial Planning with Jack Tabota show for their live webinar Wednesday, April 24th. There's no cost and space is limited. Register now. Go to www.saveyourbenefitselgin.com. That's saveyourbenefitselgin.com. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Jack Tabota may not give tax or legal advice. You should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. Tabota & Associates is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Wow, that was fast. Hey, do you have joint pain? Do you have low energy level? Well, if you do, I suggest taking Balance of Nature. It can help out with both. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I recently met Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails from people who have been taking Balance of Nature for a long time and are seeing the results. It's 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. These capsules have no food dye in them, no preservatives. Excuse me. Maybe it can help me with my grammar. And it's all natural, and that's why you should be taking Balance of Nature. Get on board and try Balance of Nature right now. And now is the perfect time to start because you can lock in your price for fruits and vegetables today and get free shipping on every order. If you lock in now, you won't have to pay more when the cost of produce starts to rise later this year. So call today and talk to one of their health coaches. The number is 800-246-8751. Again, 800-246-8751. Use promo code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and we've got to update an animal story from yesterday.
Well, it was such a disturbing story. There was this video, surveillance video of this woman dropping 7 3-day-old puppies into a dumpster outside of an auto parts store.
Napa Auto Parts.
Yeah, in Coachella.
Well, it was right by the Coachella concert.
By the Coachella concert. And she is the most hated woman. What did I say yesterday when that happened? I said, it's only going to be a matter of time, Dan, before they find her.
They got her on video.
Yeah, they did find her because her license plate, the car she was driving, they got her plate number, went to her house, and what they discovered was just piles of trash in her house. There were 38 other dogs that looked, just malnourished and just neglected. She was taken into custody. And again, animal cruelty has recovered all 38 of her animals, plus they're taking care of those 7 puppies who were thrown in a bag. But, you hurt people, that's one thing. You hurt puppies? Oh, they're on it. And then there's also some drug possession she was arrested for, so she's not going to be home anytime soon. And her home was just trashed and neglected and had holes in the walls. And I'm just glad that they got to the other dogs that she was abusing as well.
Somewhat related story out of Clearfield County, Pennsylvania.
That's gross. Is this the farmer in the Dells?
Me Too, #MeToo comes to the farm. Yes, it is.
Oh!
Men, plural, charged with having sex with 12 animals.
Oh!
Sentenced to 20 to 41 years in the pen, as it were.
Are ladies really that bad, gentlemen? Is it that bad that you have to turn to bestiality? Huh? 312-642-5600.
Lonely down there on the farm. Brubaker, Wallace, and Miesenkopf charged with having sexual relations with at least 9 female horses, a cow, a goat, and dogs.
See, now they've crossed the line.
Police say this happened on their property on Mouse Road.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. Teenage boy who lived on the property was reportedly forced to assist the men by restraining animals while they engaged in their acts.
This is so disgusting. Please tell me he's the one who called the cops and turned him in.
I don't know the details on that. The Clearfield County SPCA, though, was at the property to care for the animals and probably to provide counseling. The only question I have is, will the horses, cows, goats, and dogs wait for them? 20 to 41 years.
When I was an intern in Cedar Rapids at KGAN, I had to go out on a call like that and call back the newsroom. I rolled video on a wide shot of the farm and stuff. The kid that was accused of doing it with a goat, I'm like, this doesn't.
Between the 3 of them, can't they scrape up the cash to buy one of those Japanese sex dolls?
There you go.
Trying to provide solutions. Maybe State Representative Diane Pappas from Eastern DuPage should head out to Lancaster or Clearfield County, Pennsylvania, that is, and exactly.
And have castration.
Yeah, to help Illinois men avoid the knife. This story too. Have you ever heard of Daily Squat? Daily Squat's another one of these parody news sites.
Isn't that what the superintendent was doing? And
yeah,
the superintendent, the Daily Squat on the football field.
It's consistent with that. Just speaking of sex dolls, this popped into mind. Mm-hmm. New sex dolls so realistic that they only want to be friends with you. Pretty good. It's pretty good. The doll.
What does that mean? You can just talk to them, but you can't touch. Hey-ho.
Yeah,
hey,
you have the
hey,
right.
Baby.
Yes. You have to be rich or good looking in order for them to talk to you. Otherwise, the dolls will instead encourage men to better themselves.
And maybe find a real woman?
John in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Dan, I was wondering if this is going to go through the court system or it's going to go straight to the Farm Bureau.
It's a great question. Thanks for the call, John. It's great. Trent in Lake County, Indiana.
Yeah, the sheriff's deputy had reported on that case, and apparently pigs and stuff weren't harmed. The fellows were afraid they might squeal. Thank you.
Hi-oh. Thank you so much.
Throw out the phone number and they will call.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
They can be, the three gentlemen can be sharing their jokes about having sex with those animals for the next 20 to 41 years.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to get serious. We're going to talk about the latest, the Sri Lanka church bombings, as well as the latest incendiary anti-American tweet from Ilhan Omar. This is all with Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, at 8:38.
But first, let's head straight into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine and 47 degrees. We are following developments through the Associated Press in Iran this morning, where Iran's President Hassan Rouhani, saying Iran is now willing to negotiate with the U.S. if it reverses some economic sanctions and then apologizes for what he called illegal actions. Rouhani's remarks at the weekly cabinet meeting and then to reporters came one day after the Trump administration announced it was seeking to stop all Iranian oil exports. 8 people are recovering from their injuries in Northern California after police say a driver deliberately drove into them. They were crossing a street in the suburb of Sunnyvale. Mexico is arresting hundreds of Central American illegal immigrants heading north to the U.S. More than 360 in a caravan did not get very far before Mexican authorities arrested them this week. It's the biggest raid on a migrant caravan in Mexico since the groups began moving from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. The U.S. military and FBI in Sri Lanka this morning. They're helping with the investigation into Sunday's deadly bombing attacks. Over 350 were killed in the terror bombings at luxury hotels and at Christian churches Sunday. No one is in custody following a deadly double shooting on Chicago's South Side. 2 men were shot last night sitting in a parked vehicle in the 200 block of West 57th Street. An investigation continues after 2 died and over a dozen were hospitalized after a series of drug overdoses in Chicago, all centered on the 600 block of North Homan Avenue. Cubs 7-2 winners over the Dodgers. Orioles rout the White Sox 9-1. The news, a service of Fair.com. Fair is a totally new way to get a car with the flexibility to turn it in any time. Don't buy a car, don't get a loan, get a car on your phone. Fair, the new way to get cars. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher can see right through the mainstream media.
The president called these MS-13 gang members animals, and this gets morphed into the president calls migrants animals, and it's fake news. And of course, if the mainstream media wasn't so corrupt, there'd be a clarification from them saying, wait a minute, that's not what the president said.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
8:36, and let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Bishop Ford, traffic is jammed. 115th to pass the Stony Island feeder. Crash to the left lane. It's 27 minutes. 8094 to the merge. I-57 is 23 minutes from I-80. And the ride from 95th to downtown is a 38-minute drive. Kennedy, 58 minutes. O'Hare to downtown takes longer on the express. Eisenhower, an hour and 12 minutes. 390 to downtown. 52 minutes from Manheim. The Stevenson is an hour and 14 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Southbound Tri-State, it's clogged up from 120 to Lake Cook after a wreck. Northbound from 115th to North Avenue and Dempster to Central Road. It's Reagan tollway delays. Farnsworth to Yackley and Highland to the Tri-State. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sunshine will mix with clouds at a high of 63. Patchy clouds and 46 overnight, currently 47. Next news comes your way at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Well, not state representative, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Well done, Minneapolis. Is
proud of yourselves?
In the news again. I'll tell you what, I applaud her consistency. She is willing to be critical of both parties in order to advance Islamist views over American values. And if she needs to rewrite history, that's not a problem. 2017 tweet about the operation in Mogadishu, Somalia, 1993. She tweeted in response to somebody else on Twitter who was memorializing the 18 U.S. soldiers who were killed in Mogadishu on a mission to take out a warlord's top lieutenants, a warlord who was starving the people of Mogadishu against the backdrop of a famine in Ilhan Omar's home country of Somalia that took 300,000 lives. A humanitarian mission by America, executed by American soldiers to try and prevent people from starving to death in the country from which Ilhan Omar hails. And fortunately for her, she was lucky to get out and emigrate to this country. And she has this to say. In his selective memory, he forgets to also mention the thousands of Somalis killed by the American forces that day, exclamation point, hashtag not today, Satan.
And she wrote this 2 years ago. I mean, this wasn't written a long time ago or back when it happened. This was recent.
No, she's right. She's not a child.
Right.
Well, she is a child, but not in such a way that she's not responsible for what she says and does. Sergeant Major Kyle Lamb, who was there, was on Tucker last night to respond.
No, we didn't do that. We were trying to take out a deed because he was a clan leader that had, the Habagir clan had kind of taken over the town. They were taking the food, any of the aid that we were giving to Somalia, also weapons, and they're running drugs. Khat is a big drug over there. And he needed to be eliminated so that we could get peace back in that town. So we were actually there to help some of the lesser tribes or the lesser clans, such as her clan, which, obviously they were already gone. But, yeah, we were there to try to do the right thing. And the other thing is we didn't say, hey, let's pick out Somalia as a great place to go hang out.
Yeah,
the president at the time, President Clinton, said this is where we're going, this is what the mission is, and our commander said, roger that, we can do it, and we all had signed on the line. That's why we serve, and you can make a difference when you go to those countries.
And Sergeant Major Lamb continued, set up with a little bit of historical context from Tucker, Sergeant Major Lamb, on Omar's tweet, what it means to him and his brothers in arms.
Here's someone who was brought to the United States at public expense simply because we're a kind country that accepts a lot of refugees. And rather than being grateful for that, she spent the rest of her life attacking this country. Why?
Well, as they would say down here in Tennessee, bless her heart. I mean, we want her to understand that she's living large now because of her family being able to escape the atrocities of Mogadishu. And yeah, it's very disturbing. We watched our friends get drugged through the streets by the people that she says are her people. And we got to watch that on TV once we'd exfilled from the crash site that I was at, and we got back to our hangar. That's what we got to watch. So, yeah, we take it personal when you attack us like that. Once again, it's not surprising to hear that. There's been kind of a long list of things she said that I don't know if she met him or not, but she continues to say them. So, yeah, I feel bad for her.
She is a pitiful, hateful human being. And, yeah, I guess if she continues to say them, you should start believing that's what she really believes.
Well, if America's so horrible and we're a bunch of Satans running around, why doesn't she just pack up her things and go back to Somalia? Real simple.
That's a question for Minneapolis voters to answer, I suppose. But for more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. He's the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, co-founder of the Muslim Reform Movement, also a former U.S. soldier himself, U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander. His book, A Battle for the Soul of Islam. Dr. Jasser, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So how much of an embarrassment is Representative Omar to American Muslims?
Well, I think to the majority, she's a significant embarrassment. And, this story particularly hits home for me. This is reported by John Rosamando from the Investigative Project on Terrorism. I graduated from the Medical College of Wisconsin up in Milwaukee in 1992, and then did my officer training, internship, and then served in Operation Restore Hope on the USS El Paso. So I joined my ship as they returned from that theater. I got to know many of the folks that had family members and fellow soldiers with their bodies dragged through the streets of Mogadishu. And what you should learn from her narrative there is not only that it was 2 years ago, but this is the narrative of many of the Islamists. And you wonder why her district has the highest radicalization ratio, where you had jihadis going from Minnesota to serve in Somalia with al-Shabaab and serve in ISIS, because the narrative of radicalization is that America is the problem, the West is the problem. When I came back from serving in Operation Restore Hope, I went to the Islamic Society of North America. I talk about it in my book, how the Somali Relief Fund had brochures saying how America is imperializing the Horn of Africa when we were actually simply on a humanitarian mission, as Tucker and his hero, the guest yesterday, talked about. And basically, we were there to try to stop a famine. It was called the CNN War because we were pulled into battling warlords, and simply the UN decided we were trying to take food there, and the food became a weapon, and our soldiers tried to prevent that from happening, and we ended up having to protect ourselves. And as she responded to the tweet from Al Franken 2 years ago, her senator basically said another act was a significant act of terror. She said, no, the Americans were the ones who killed the most Somalians. So it serves Americans to notice that there are many in our leadership, in our Muslim community, that look at America as the problem, as the devil, rather than as the solution. All the while they serve benefits, and they end up leading our community. And the Pelosi's of the world take pictures with them on the front cover of Rolling Stone, Vogue, and other magazines. They get propped up in identity politics, and nobody looks at their ideology. And the rest of us Muslims become victims because most of us reject her leadership, reject their ideas, and the organizations that are radicalizing our community.
But how is it that she wasn't properly vetted by the DNC? I mean, they could have looked back to her tweets, and for her to say "not today, Satan" when she's referring to Americans and our soldiers, they let that was. I mean, somebody had to have seen it, and they just ignored it.
Well, all you need to do is look at the process in which she rose there. Congressman Ellison was the previous congressman in that district. He propped her up as sort of his replacement. And no matter what was brought up about her background, about her, she even had a conviction and other things that were ignored because of
immigration the allegations of immigration fraud.
Exactly, a lot of other things involved, but nobody wanted to vet it because she was going to become the face of sort of the women's movement, refugees, against the so-called Muslim ban, all the things that she checked the right boxes. It didn't matter what her ideology was, and now she's emboldened with the AOC and Rashida Tlaib's and others. She's sort of become the tail wagging the dog of the Democratic Party. And as you can tell now this week with this story that John broke, they're ignoring it. They don't even want to touch it because they realize if America starts to pay attention to what her ideas really are vis-a-vis our American troops, they will not last long at all the while the Democratic Party is calling for prisoners and former terrorists to get votes out of prison. You realize that they're becoming very radicalized, and actually maybe she does represent what the Democratic Party stands for today.
Indeed. Speaking of which, and turning to the massacre of Christians in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday, I'm sorry, I used the C word. The massacre of Easter worshipers on Sunday. I want to be Washington Post compliant. Christianity under attack, ? Sri Lanka church bombings stroke far-right anger in the West. That was the Washington Post headline. So I just want to make sure it's not just far-right conservative Christians, like apparently me, who are upset about 350 people being massacred, another 500 people being injured. That other people are upset too. Am I too far afield on this, or is the Washington Post?
No, the Washington Post it's bizarre the left twisting of the reality of what's happening. The attack in Sri Lanka, and then they also tried to say that it was a revenge attack from the New Zealand mosque terror attack, which doesn't make sense because it turns out that cell was in planning for 2 to 3 months. It turns out that the imam had videos, and there were reports from Muslims actually in Sri Lanka that the cell was going to commit an act a month in advance. So this didn't happen only after the New Zealand mosque attacks, but yet they constantly, when it's about Muslims, you'll see President Obama, Hillary Clinton talk about the Muslim community. We need to protect them and come to their aid, etc. And yet when it's attack against Christians, they won't even mention the word. And I can tell you, as a devout American Muslim, I don't want to live in a country where any religion is minimized in its religious freedom and its identity, because when Christians feel comfortable to practice their faith and we defend them across the world, we will then also defend Muslims. So the left actually, it's because of their hate for Christianity that they don't want to defend them, and then that also then will end up leading to a hate towards Islam and other faiths, because they're simply using us when it serves their purpose politically and not because they really care about our faith.
That is such a strong point that you just made, and so true. But I want to get back to this fatal security lapse. They even interviewed an ISIS member in India, and the Indian government called Sri Lanka and said an attack is imminent. It's going to happen. Why do you think the Sri Lankan government just ignored warning after warning?
Well, bottom line is this is another act in a global war that ISIS is reconstituting after they lost their ground in Syria and Iraq. The Sri Lankans have some internal political fighting that's happened. The Indian intelligence and other intelligence reported to them things happening, and apparently the political infighting caused them to ignore it and push it under the rug, and even because look at how much chatter would have to be involved to have 8 bombs go off at the same time across the island of the entire country in 7 different locations in order for them to ignore it and miss it. So there was a huge lapse there. It's from the dysfunction of the government and its security apparatus. And I think you'll see ISIS will hit where they see vulnerability, where they see weakness, and also where they see a message. So Easter Sunday was a significant message to send, as it was in the hotels that they hit with tourism and Western influence. And, you know, the ISIS Islamists divide the world into the land of Islam and the land of war. They're losing in the land of Islam, where they lost their territory in Syria and Iraq and elsewhere. So they'll turn to the land of war to start to get more recruits. And if anyone thinks that the war against ISIS is over, they need to realize, look in Congo, there was a thwarted attack in Saudi Arabia, and the attack in Kabul a few weeks ago. They are more active than ever, so please, we cannot be complacent. We need to have a long-term strategy against the global jihad.
So you have no question in your mind, ISIS claiming credit, late after the arrests were made of this imam and other radical Islamists in Sri Lanka. You have no question that this was not an independent radicalized imam and his friends. This is ISIS-inspired, if not underwritten.
Absolutely. And Dan, let me make two really important points. Number one of the reasons for the delay is they released information on which one was wearing belts, which one was just threw a bomb. They released information on the names and pictures, and then they did it through avenues which didn't allow tracing, so that doesn't happen within 12 hours. They wanted to make sure it's successful, and then they released it 2 to 3 days later, so that was pretty much strategic. The second thing is that little imam, who people think is just from a little cell, had pictures last year taken with Imam Qaradawi, the leading sheikh out of Qatar, who has the largest program on Sharia and life out of Al Jazeera. So this connection to global political Islam, Qatar has featured Qaradawi with Brookings Institute and other major Western think tanks. So this little cell, again and again, shows to be a known wolf, not lone, but known wolf, connected to Islamist propaganda outfits that are global out of Qatar and elsewhere. So people need to make these connections and realize that we're not only losing the whack-a-mole program, but we're losing the global ideological program.
Great stuff, as always, from Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, President of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Appreciate you filling in the blanks for us and our audience. Former U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander, and again, pick up his book, A Battle for the Soul of Islam. Dr. Jasser, pleasure as always. Thank you.
Anytime. Thanks, Dan and Amy.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
I had him over yesterday, Permaseal. A guy named Doug came over, helped out because I have a leaky basement. I've had a problem for a while. They've come up with a solution for me. And it's important, too, if you own a sump pump or a backup sump pump, you need to make sure your battery's in order. And who to call for that? Well, no one else rather than Permaseal, of course. So if you have that sump pump, it needs to be checked. You know why? Because it's not a matter of if, but it's when it's going to fail. Independent lab results show that Permaseal battery backup systems are your best value in backup sump pump protection. This live read, by the way, is going out to Sean from Elmwood Park. Since 1979, Permaseal has provided dry, healthy basements and crawl spaces to over 400,000 homeowners all over the area. So get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement or crawl space. Call Permaseal 1-800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
One of the most frustrating aspects of running a business is dealing with technology. It's great when it works, but when it's not, IT networks, computers, you just want to run your business. And that's where Turnkey IT comes in. For only $795 a month, you can eliminate the hassle of IT and computer issues with Turnkey IT. It'll be like having your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure. They make it smart. You'll be set up for success and not have to deal with all the technical issues. So have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT guy, so you know where you stand with technology. Second opinions never hurts. So leave the technology and the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss, because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women